JK is an incredible athlete, incredible two-way player. He's a future star in this league, and
he's a really good basketball player, and he's got a very full bag of skills offensively.
Are you the best point guard ever?
Yes.
You ever imagine what life is going to be after Steph Curry? The Warriors have been in a golden era since they drafted him back in the 2009 draft. They have won 4 rings with him in 2015, 2017, 18, and 2022. He's going to be retiring within the next 5 years. And what I want to do today was my longest rebuild of NBA 2K25. I want to do a 20-year Golden State Warriors rebuild today. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? Steph Curry is 36 years old. Draymond Green is 34. Buddy Hield, 31, who's been phenomenal as a free agency pickup for them to start off this year's season in 2025. Aaron Wiggins, 29 years old. Brandon Podziemski's young. Jonathan Kuminga's young, but is a free agent at the end of the year. And the Warriors have been a lot of fun to watch so far this season. Ball movement has been great. Shooting's been good, and they are showing their depth earlier in this year. And I thought they were going to be an interesting team to do my first long rebuild with. If you guys want to see more 20-year rebuilds, drop a thumbs up on this video. Let me know in the comments which team you'd like to see next. That would be interesting. I think like the Milwaukee Bucks would be a challenge. The LA Clippers would be a challenge, because we got to prepare for life after Steph Curry. Now, we can afford to be bad for a couple of years, right? Like, we have our first round picks every single year over the next couple of years, but I would still like to get a ring with Steph. And I'm going to have a goal today to win 5 rings at the minimum. If I can't win 5 rings, I think that's a pretty big failure job for this video. We're a big market team. We should be able to get free agents, and having all our draft capital, having the opportunity to develop and build around Podziemski, Kuminga, Trayce Jackson-Davis right now, I think should provide us a foundation to set up life after Steph. But like I said, I would like to still get a ring with Curry. We'll see how much 2K likes this team this year. I think I could be active at the deadline. And Jonathan Kuminga, free agent at the end of the year, may want a decent amount of money. I don't know if I'm going to give him that max contract. So could I trade him at the deadline? That's potentially an option. And I like the value they got when they re-signed Moses Moody as well. I just really enjoy watching this Golden State Warriors offense, because I think the ball movement has been really enjoyable this year. The defense is nice because they have multiple good defenders on this team with Wiggins when he's locked in. Obviously, Draymond is a phenomenal defender, and I think Gary Payton is a good defender. I think Moses Moody has been taking some steps. Podziemski can be really fun when he's active, even though he's been slightly inefficient to start off the year. I just got to figure out what I want to do, right? Like, I don't want to sacrifice the long-term vision of this team, and I think like trading away Podziemski for a win-now guy could hurt that. But do we see if Jimmy Butler becomes available? Does Giannis become available? Even though I'm not trading for him, it'd be very tough to. But this cap sheet is not bad. It's not bad. The Wiggins contract isn't great. Draymond contract isn't great. But we have tradable contracts at a perfect amount with Moody, Hield, Kyle Anderson. I like where this team is. I can move Melton this year. I can move Kuminga. I can move Kevon Looney, Gary Payton. They're making a decent amount as well. I can probably get Zach LaVine, pretty affordable. Do I try to move Jonathan Kuminga for Jimmy Butler? Does that help me get a ring in the Curry era? And then I could just probably pivot to building around Moody, Trayce Jackson-Davis, Podziemski long term. And then I got to figure out who's going to be the next Steph Curry for this team. Who's going to be the next #1 option? So we are here in February. We are 28-20. And we are the 4th seed in the Western Conference. So I just want to get into the playoffs, and I feel like we can maybe compete. Now, this is with Buddy Hield coming off the bench. He has been exactly how he's been in real life. Such a nice option for us there. Brandon Podziemski has been great. Now he's hitting his shots coming off the bench. Jonathan Kuminga, though, I mean, he's hitting his threes, which I think is always going to be a big X factor for him. I just wonder if he's going to fit on this team going forward. Like, I don't mind keeping him and extending him. D'Anthony Melton, I think, could probably be somebody we hover around at the deadline. Gary Payton as well, but he's hitting his threes. If we're going to look for maybe an upgrade over Trayce Jackson-Davis, I think, yeah, I mean, he could be a perfect backup big, but I think we can maybe leverage Melton's contract to get a center. Now, just adding Nikola Vucevic, right? Like, not an exciting name, but he is a center that can space the floor, which could optimize this offense, and Draymond Green could help him out defensively. I would just really have to go through teams that would have an available center. Like, I'm sure Jakob Poeltl would be available on the market, but do I really want Jakob Poeltl? Not really. DeAndre Ayton, I don't really think makes this team that much better, and he's making a lot of money long term. Walker Kessler's fun, but I don't really think there's a lot of sense there. John Collins, maybe. Like, him and Draymond could be a fun offensive threat. I just don't really like his playmaking that much. Going around, Clippers, I mean, Zubats is not available. Sabonis ain't available. Nick Claxton, I don't really think makes this team that much better in the short term. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns would be amazing, and the Knicks aren't playing well. That could be something that happens later on. Clint Capella, no. Jalen Duren. Brook Lopez, maybe. The Bucks haven't been great this year. Jonas Valanciunas, if we wanted to. I mean, Miles Turner would be A lot of fun, but that would probably cost me Jonathan Kuminga if I wanted to do that. I mean, I'm not super excited about it, but if we did Kevon Mooney, who's been here for so long, and D'Anthony Melton for Nikola Vucevic, we try it out. If it doesn't work out, we're going to have Trey Jackson-Davis back in the starting five. Maybe we should trade Santos or Winnie Waters for another center, even though Waters has been pretty good. I get Torrey Craig in the steal. I don't know if I'd be able to get like a first rounder from the Bulls, like for taking on Vucevic's contract now. The Portland Water projected pick is 3.5 stars because they're bad this year, even though the pick is never going to be that valuable. Like, could I get your 2029 first? For Looney Melton, you get a year out of Nikola Vucevic. I doubt they'll do this. Do they counter at least? That could make this somewhat exciting. They do not. So they may not even do this trade of Looney and Melton for Vucevic and Torrey Craig. Now, I don't really want to throw in any assets unless I have an excess of seconds, which I don't, which is kind of a shame because I feel like the Bulls would probably be willing to do that trade. I mean, maybe Bobby Portis would have a market as well. I don't really know if trading D'Anthony Melton for Bobby Portis changes anything with either team, because John Collins, $26 million, it may be tough to get there, but it may not be impossible. So I know he could be a free agent next year, which is fine. I mean, they get out of this contract. They should do this, right? Like if I did Kevon Mooney, if I did Melton, I would have to take your cheapest guy, Patty Mills. Can we make this work? Would we do this? They do. Okay, so I think that's an upgrade for us. If Collins doesn't become a good facilitator, I think we could definitely remove him from the starting five. But for now, even though Wendy Waters has been a good shooter for them, I don't think he's going to crack the rotation. We're going to go like 8 minutes a night to Gary Payton. I would like to go, Nina Anderson. Maybe he plays a little bit more. And I do want Collins, I think, starting above Trey Jackson-Davis. Like, this team is really deep right now, and I feel like I got to get more minutes for some of these guys. Like Moses Moody, probably going to lower to 25. Wiggins, 30. Curry, 33 minutes a night. This is just going to be a deep roster that I think will be fine making the playoffs. And I think for Kuminga, not moving him now does not guarantee him a spot on this team long term. Like, there could be a notable sign and trade with him right now. We could lock him up, 4-year deal, and then potentially move him on draft night. I don't hate that idea. It now provides the opportunity to move him on draft night. So let's do that deal. 4 years. It'll probably come out to around $92, $95 million, which is kind of a lot for Kuminga. I do think it is, but I don't think he would have a non-robust market. I think teams like the Nets would be interested, maybe the Jazz, somebody like that could take a chance on him throughout their rebuild. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP this year. Shout out to Ryan Dunn winning Rookie of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year is Malcolm Brogdon. Wemby's Depoy. Bilal Most Improved. Shout out to him, year 2 man. Steph Curry, Clutch Player of the Year. Look at that. Does he make an All-NBA team? He does not, unfortunately. Does Draymond make an All-Defensive team? He also doesn't, and we're not going to have a rookie here. So the Golden State Warriors finished as the 3 seed in the Western Conference. Definitely exceeded expectations this year. 53-29, 4.2 point differential. I could be wrong. You guys can let me know in the comments, but is there a way to see like your best lineups? I think that would be a cool feature in 2K. Like, they have plenty of analytics that you could see and like advanced stats. So it would be nice to see, I don't know, your best lineup. I don't know if that would be under coaching. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think so. But that would be really cool to see like your best 5-man lineup or something like that. So Steph Curry is obviously going to be the point guard for the playoffs. He finished the year 50-40-90 splits. I think I'm going to keep the starting 5 as the same because Andrew Wiggins bounced back this year for sure. Moses Moody, 37% from 3. I like him in the starting lineup with Kuminga off the bench. Draymond was not a horrible shooter. That is a big dub for us. And John Collins, I do like in the starting 5. Healed Kuminga, Pods, and I think Trey Jackson-Davis are going to be the playoff guys. As good as Gary Payton was this year, I don't think he's going to make the playoffs. So was Kyle Anderson. These guys were knocking down their shots, but we're going to trim it down a little bit just so we could play Steph probably 40 minutes a night. Draymond's going to get 34 minutes a night. Collins is going to play a little bit more. And I think Wiggins is going to play a little bit more. We're taking on the Dallas Mavericks in round number 1. This is probably a better team on paper. They ended up winning the Western Conference Finals last year. They didn't make any trades throughout the deadline. I think Quentin Grimes could be a nice like D'Anthony Melton replacement in the offseason. Buy low on him since he wasn't good this year. We do lose by 15 to start off round number 1. Unfortunately, Curry, 34 points, 5 of 14 from downtown. Trey Jackson-Davis was better than John Collins. We go down 2-0. Losing by 1 in overtime. This is a rematch of the 2022 Western Conference Finals. Curry, we wasted a 52-point performance at home, and we have home court. Wiggins, I need you to play better. Moody, I need you to play better as well. Do we make like a lineup switch? Do I get Pods into this? He's been bad too. I was thinking about inserting Pods and Kuminga, but they haven't been great either. Game 3 goes to Dallas. We lose by 10. We scored 20 points in the 4th quarter. Got outscored by 13, which is a shame. Game number 4 does go to the Warriors, so we don't get swept. 119-114. Curry with 34 and 10. Draymond playing well in the playoffs, something you don't normally see in 2K. Wiggins is bouncing back a little bit. Man, Buddy Hield, 39% from the field, ain't going to cut it. We do lose in 5, so it wasn't really close. Oh my god, but losing by 2 in game 5 hurts. Losing by 1 in game 2, those were the winnable games that we just couldn't close out with. It's a shame though, we had the clutch player of the year. Curry couldn't clutch those out. Shea and Tatum are your conference finals MVPs, and 2 of the best teams, I would say, in the NBA end up meeting in the finals. Thunder win in 7. So Curry does not retire, so that's something we're gonna have to be watching every year. Same with Draymond Green. There goes LeBron though, he ends up retiring. League meetings, I don't think we're going to change anything. We are going to get some expansion teams in soon. I think a 20-year expansion rebuild could be fun. I know a lot of people like that. Austin, I think they were the Bullets. Austin something. I had it in a rebuild a couple ago. I think it was the 10-year Bobcats. So we're not going to be here in the lottery, but we do own our first round pick, which is nice. We have the 26th pick. Hopefully this could be a nice late find. All right, so we are here on the night of the draft. I could think about moving Jonathan Kuminga. I feel like now would be the time to do so, but I don't know if we could revisit the Lowry Markkanen talks. I mean, that could be potentially something we look at. Because I feel like you're the Jazz. You want to bottom out. Now, where did they end up in the lottery? Did they miss out on the flag sweepstakes? They did. So the 4th pick. I feel like, yeah, maybe they'd want to pair up Cooper Flag and Lowry Markkanen. But since they weren't able to do so, I feel like for their best interest, they would move on from him. And then we'd maybe build around Markkanen. We'll see when Curry retires. I don't think we have the financial ability to just do Kuminga for Markkanen now. It would have to be Kuminga, Kyle Anderson. Ugh, and this sucks. I would have to move Wiggins, Draymond. I guess Trace Jackson Davis would have to be the guy. I mean, I could wait till whoever I draft in the first round and then move him. I don't want to move Moody. I don't want to move Buddy Hield. He was too valuable for us last year. So I feel like TJD is going to be the odd man out. All that for Lowry Markkanen. For some reason, it says he just has 1 year left on his deal. Okay. And then 45, 49, 53 million. I'd probably rather go after Markkanen, I would say, than Jimmy Butler. I'm not trading for Giannis. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford him. I'm just going through some other teams. Like Levine, maybe a little bit cheaper, but that would probably cost me Wiggins or something like that, which I should be probably okay giving up. Like, I'm sure the Nets and the Wizards would be interested in Kuminga, but they just don't have any player that I'd want coming back. Ingram, I wouldn't mind. Zion, I wouldn't mind, but I feel like you're getting Kuminga. They would probably want pods, and I don't really want to move Brandon Podziemski right now. So the one guy also I thought about was Şengün, just because him and Jalen Green have had their history, and I feel like Şengün in this offense would be kind of fun. 3-team trade. All right, you know what? I say we try Şengün before we do Markkanen. So let's do Kuminga, Anderson. All right, I don't even have to do that. I'd rather just do Kuminga, Anderson, and I will throw in my 2027 unprotected first round pick. I'll have to throw in next year's first, maybe, but I'd like to hold on to that. So I'm going to throw in 2027 and 2029. So I think that's going to be valuable to them because that's going to be in the post-Curry era. And who knows how Şengün and like Draymond are going to look. Yeah, I mean, there could be some floor spacing issues if we run into it, but I like this offer. It's going to be sad to see Kuminga go, but I think Şengün gives us a better chance to win long term, and the Rockets are going to agree to that. Cooper Flag ends up going to the Detroit Pistons. The Blazers, with the 2nd overall pick, are trading it to Sacramento for De'Aaron Fox. Well, maybe I should trade for Scoot Henderson to be the point guard in the post-Curry era. They take Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper 3, and then Nolan Traore 4. And the Rockets draft a center. Come on, Maluach in replace of Alperen Şengün, who is now a Warrior. And I'm going to get one of the best off-ball players, one of the best cutters and shooters in this draft. I'm taking Alex Caravan out of UConn. Winning mindset, can be an NBA-level player right away. Since we did lose a little bit of depth, and I was able to keep Trace Jackson Davis, and I wouldn't say I'm done because John Collins opts in. Might just move him to a power forward. Probably just going to eat into those Kuminga minutes if I can't find a trade. I'm going to bring back Santos. Obviously going to bring back Podziemski. He's going to be due for a new contract extension. Pat Spencer, I'm going to bring back as well. Free agents, Gary Payton. Yes, I'd like to bring you back. You were good. Wendy Waters, I'd like to bring you back as well. And then I'm going to try to get Steven Adams. Him and Şengün are coming over. We're just going to have all of the Rockets centers. So Pat Spencer, I'd like to keep, like I said, Reese Beekman from Virginia. We'll let walk. Same with Quentin Post from BC. He's 25 years old. So let's just do this real quick. Anybody switch up here at the top? Miles Turner re-signs with the Pacers. $130 million guaranteed. Wow. So Dennis Schroeder breaking out. He earns $54 million from the Nets. You know what? I like them rewarding him. And Naz Reid goes to the Jazz, 3 years, $58 million. So Pat Spencer accepts the qualifying offer. Steph Curry regresses a little bit. Same with Draymond. Pods is up by 2. Hield is down by 1. But I'm really excited to see how Şengün works in this offense as like a hub that can work so many DHOs and pick and rolls with Steph. And I'm excited about the season for sure. Curry, Wiggins, Moody, Draymond, Şengün. Podziemski could be in the running for 6th man of the year. So to start off the season, I would like to see what Caravan can do. And I know like Lenny Waters could be a rotational guy for them, but I think it's going to be an 11-man rotation. We're going to go like 7 to Gary Payton just to play some 3D stuff for us. We're going to go 10 to Caravan. We're going to go 16, maybe 17 to TJD, but I don't want him to eat too much into the Şengün minutes. But 31, I think, for Şengün is fine right now. Let's go 22 to Healed and Pojemski. 1 more minute. I guess to step throughout the regular season because he's getting up there in age. I like having a deep team. I really do. System proficiency is going to be 4-star perimeter centric. One thing I did want to do was change John Collins to a power forward. His overall doesn't change, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, I do want Trey Jackson-Davis being the full-time starting backup center, excuse me. We do lose by 15 to start off the year against the Grizzlies. Okay, all right. I mean, we do have that John Collins contract throughout the year too if we wanted to leverage that in a trade. 2 tough teams to start off the season, but that is a shame going 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, and 0-5. All right. Oh, not a good start whatsoever. I did not trade away my 2026 draft pick, which... Şengün, come on. I gave up a lot for you. I need you to start playing better. And we're here at the trade deadline. 28 and 26. Not really what I want to be at. I thought we'd be a little bit better, kind of where we were last year. I don't know if that means I'm going to do somewhat of a lineup change. I may move Moses Moody to the bench. I'd like for Andrew Wiggins to be a little bit more efficient. I could just change that up and throw Buddy Hield at the 3. It doesn't help us out defensively. But we could try that. Steph Curry, 50, 40, 90 splits. Draymond is... Man, we're seeing a little bit of regression, but he's not like the worst offensive player by any means. I kind of need Şengün to be better, given what I gave up for him. Off the bench, Brandon Bojemski has been good. I think I'm going to insert him into the starting 5. Buddy Hield's probably going to stay as a 6-man. The one thing I'll look at is a potential trade with John Collins, and I think I'm also going to remove Caravan from the rotation right now as well. So yeah, Pods is going to enter the rotation. I think Moody's going to go to the bench. Moody is probably going to get like 23 minutes tonight. Let's go 26 to Buddy Hield. Let's go 32 to Şengün, 34 to Curry. Probably just go 28 to Pods. Yeah, why not? So we could look at the trade deadline. We could see if there's somebody that would match maybe John Collins' contract. I don't really want to trade first-round picks, though. Like, would they want to do Chris Middleton for John Collins? Like, sure. I don't know. They're 26 and 23, so probably not. I don't mind taking on 2 years of a bad deal. I don't know why Derek White, Drew Holiday, or Pritchard would be on the block when the Celtics are 43 and 7. That really doesn't make a lot of sense. Bronny James is on the trade block. He's their starting point guard after LeBron retired. OG Anunoby's on the block. Okay. DeJounte Murray's on the block. So is Michael Porter Jr. I wonder Michael Porter Jr. on this team, just as like an elite shooter. We'd have to eat into his contract a little bit. I don't know. If I'm not opposed to maybe going after Michael Porter Jr. if we went to see, wow, they traded for Markkanen. Okay, that's kind of crazy. We would have to include $5 million more. Not the toughest thing in the world, but I'd have to probably include Buddy Hield, which I don't really want to do. All right, I'm going to make this trade with the Washington Wizards. I'm sending them John Collins and a second-round pick. I'm getting Kyle Kuzma in this deal. He's got 2 years, $21 million each year, so $40 million total left on his deal. And I think that's an upgrade for us off the bench. I don't really expect him to play too many minutes either. He's probably going to get around 20 minutes a night, maybe something like that. And that is going to be it for me at the deadline. Contract extensions, Pojemski. We can lock up a rookie extension right now. Let's do this. 4 years. Let's tap into this. We'll do 20 million. Honestly, yeah, 80 million total. That is fine with me. That is a steal of a contract for Pods. Wiggins, I think we're going to wait till that is done. Draymond, I don't really want to have to come to that. And Trey Jackson-Davis, let's bring him back on a 3-year deal. Team option on the last year, but it will ascend over time. I think we did a good job getting into those contract extensions early. Got Holmgren wins MVP. Wow. So Shea won it last year. Holmgren won it this year. Back-to-back Thunder MVP. So the Kings traded away De'Aaron Fox for the eventual Rookie of the Year, Nace Bailey, and 6th Man of the Year. So it doesn't go to Pods. He did start a lot in the second half. Wemby Depoy, Amen Most Improved. Trey, Clutch Player of the Year, and Joe Maz is your Coach of the Year. Don't think we're going to get Curry on an All-NBA team. I feel like he had a down year this year compared to last year, and he didn't make it last year either. But we do finish the year as the 4 seed in the Western Conference, going up against the 5-seeded Phoenix Suns. Maybe a down year for the West. 43 and 39, and we are the 4 seed. Last year we were 53 and 29, and we were what, the 2 seed last year, or excuse me, 3 seed, as Steph ended up being our leading scorer, followed by Şengün, Pojemski. This is going to be the future probably. Şengün and Pojemski. There's Kyle Kuzma, Wiggins, Hield, and Moody. For the playoffs though, we are going to be removing probably Gary Payton from the rotation. Going to lower Kuzma a little bit. I think we're going to lower Moody a little bit as well. He's going to get like 17 minutes a night. Buddy Hield at 24. Şengün at 34. Let's go 33 to Draymond for the defense. 32 to Wiggins. Let's go 32 to Pojemski, and let's go 38 to Steph. So we're taking on the Phoenix Suns, who are led by most likely Kevin Durant, Devin Booker still. that is the case. Bradley Beal. Oh, they got Josh Giddey, probably for the minimum. Probably an upgrade over Tyus Jones in a way. Isaiah Stewart, Ryan Dunn, KCP. Oh, Royce O'Neal, Oso Godoro. That's a good team. We lost in round 1, disappointing fashion last year. We lose by 1 in game 1. Curry had 30-11. Şengün had 24-9-6. But we lost by 1 at home. And for the second straight year, we are down 2-0 in the first 2 games of round 1. That sucks. Game 3 goes to Phoenix. Oh my god, we lose by 29. Damn it, he had 27 in this one. How has Şengün been? He's been fine. Nothing crazy. Steph, I'm trying, man. I really am. Are we going to get swept? Wow. I'm not firing Steve Kerr. But this one sucks a little bit. That sucks, losing in round number 1 again. Damn it. So Chet, Western Conference Finals MVP and MVP in the same year. We have a rematch of last year, and the Thunder, for 2 straight years, beat Boston in round number 1. Just not winning a playoff series after having 2 solid seeding rankings. Not bad. I mean, Draymond, it's not looking good for him right now. He's 36 years old. Wiggins, probably going to trade him. No, Steph. I'm overriding it. You didn't, wait, what? Oh, I gave him a farewell tour. I didn't even realize that I did that. I didn't think I did. Oh, man. Well, there goes Steph. He's retiring. That sucks. Well, there goes my goal of winning a ring for Steph. So he retires after year number 2, and I have to now go into a post-Steph era with probably no cap space whatsoever. I don't want this to be a complete retool year. We don't own our draft pick, I believe. Did I trade away 27 and 29? I'll have to double check that. We do own our first round pick at 21. Not the best place to be. Damn it, I couldn't get Steph a ring. I'm upset. So we do not own our first round pick next year. So I can't have a retool year. And maybe going with the veteran, like the NBA ready guy in Carabin, wasn't the greatest idea. All right, so we'll see how much this young core can carry me into the playoffs. But we are going to make a trade. I'm going to send Kyle Kuzma to the win now San Antonio Spurs for Simone Fontecchio, who could be a good shooter for us, maybe 9th, 10th, 11th man. But we're also getting pick 15 in this draft. So I'm going to have 15 and 21. I think I'm going to make both of those selections. As Dallas had the number 1 pick and they're trading it with Dante Exum for number 2 and number 7. All right, and Rockets take AJ Debanta. Makes a lot of sense. And Cameron Boozer goes to Dallas. Cole Pete goes 3. The Hawks at 4 are taking Darren Peterson. Nice pick there. And number 5, the LA Lakers are trading the pick and Bronny to the Knicks for Mikal Bridges and Deuce McBride. Knicks take Jalen Harrelson. So with my first pick, I'm going to be taking Will Riley out of Illinois. He had a monster first game as a freshman for Illinois recently when the season started last Monday. We're going to see the 17th pick traded for Clay and TJ McConnell. They're going to Minnesota. Caden Boozer goes. That's a nice pick. Bryson Tilley goes. Philadelphia and Orlando are before us. Philly is trading 19 for Josh Hart. Wow, the Knicks traded Mikal, Deuce, and Hart during draft night. They take Isaiah Harwell from UConn. Braden Burries from Arizona goes. So there are some nice options. I'm going to get Derek Queen, who also had a monster first career collegiate game for Maryland. He had 22 points, 20 rebounds for them. And I like that for us long term. I don't know how much Trey Jackson Davis is going to cost as Wiggins opts in, Draymond opts in. Not surprised by Draymond, but I do believe that I should be able to move Andrew Wiggins. And I think that's what I'm going to look into because I need a point guard. Nikola Topic got non-tenured. All right. Or just kind of let go. They didn't pick up his option. That is a no-brainer for me. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring back Gary Payton on a 1-year deal. Same with the Wendy Waters. And I got Nikola Topic. All right. He's going to be fighting for the starting point guard minutes. I also have a $5 million trade exception from the John Collins trade. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to find like a realistic enough trade. Like obviously I'd love to trade for Darius Garland. Maybe that comes eventually, but we are probably going to opt for Nikola Topic as my starting point guard next year. We could look to make a trade 100%. I don't know if somebody has like no value where we can attach, I don't know, Wendy Waters in a second in the trade exception for somebody making like $7 million. Probably not going to do that though. Player progression, Şengün is a 91 overall, our highest overall now that Steph is retired. There's Podziemski. Wiggins does not regress, which is interesting. There's Draymond Green. I don't know how much longer he's going to be there as our starter. There goes James Harden. He's going to have a farewell tour as well. So yeah, they want to start Pods at the 1, which I don't think I'm going to do. I want to see what Nikola Topic could do. Like, taking a flyer on him, I think, could definitely work out. Wiggins is going to start. We're going to have Moody off the bench. We're going to have Buddy Hield off the bench. Trey Jackson Davis, obviously, off the bench. Fontecchio, I think him, like, Caravan are going to fight for minutes. I think Will Riley, our first-round pick, is going to fight for minutes. I don't think Derek Queen is going to crack the rotation yet, just because it's not a super versatile position as, like, the guaranteed 5. We're going to go probably 35 to Pods. We're going to have to play a lot to him. 25 to Topic. Let's go 30 to Wiggins. 30 We'll do 28 to Draymond. Honestly, 34 to Şengün. We'll see how much Şengün and Pods can carry this team this year. First game post Steph Curry. Oh my God. And I don't own my first round pick this year. That is not off to a good start. Oh my goodness. We do start off the season 1-2. But that's a little scary, I can't lie. All right, so we are not performing as I would have liked this year. We are 21-26. It's a new day for me. We're currently the 12th seed in the Western Conference. We have a negative 3-point differential. As our defense, you know, it's been a strong suit this year. We're a top 5 defense, but the offense has been abysmal. We are one of the worst offensive teams in the Western Conference. The Nikola Topic experiment hasn't really been off to a great start. I mean, the efficiency's been okay. I would like for him to be a little bit better. Looking at this team right now, like, Moses Moody's fine, but I think we know what he is at this point. Buddy Hield, we're asking so much out of a 34-year-old. Andrew Wiggins is giving me okay play right now. Alperen Şengün is averaging a double-double. Maybe he's just got to cut down on the threes a little bit. He's averaging 1.2 steals, 5.5 assists. And Brandon Podziemski, breakout year for him as a top scorer on this team. 22.5 points, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 52, 44, 68 splits. I wish he could hit more free throws. He'd probably be able to average 24, 25 points a night. So I'm kind of looking at this team. I mean, this is probably it for Draymond at this point. The offensive efficiency is just so bad. I don't think Alex Karaban is where we'd like him to be at this point. I'm asking a lot out of, like, rookie Will Riley, Trace Jackson Davis. I don't know. Maybe we go big and we just have Trace start over Draymond. It really hurts our floor spacing. But also looking at this team right now, we don't own our first round pick this year. It goes to the Rockets. We do own our first rounder next year. So I'm kind of figuring out what this team is going to be. I really wish I won a title in the Curry era. So Şengün is making money till basically 2030. That Podziemski contract is going to be fantastic for us. We should have a decent amount of cap space. Basically, I mean, at the end of the year, we are going to free up a decent amount of money from Wiggins and Draymond Green. That's going to be $57 million off the books. Like, we could have a max contract spot in free agency. I just wish I owned my first round pick. So I don't know if it's worth trying to move Andrew Wiggins for a larger deal and that kind of sacrifice cap space in the offseason. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to hope this team turns it around in the second half. I mean, Andrew Wiggins for that deal is pretty good, but I think we're going to let him hit free agency. Buddy Hield could be a free agent as well. Draymond, I mean, I think this is it. If he wants to go on his Klay Thompson retirement tour, he could do that somewhere else. Moses Moody, I mean, $18 million, so he's going to go up a little bit. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to make any trades right now. I don't think I'm going to sign anybody. I'm just going to hope that this team has the internal development over the second half of the year. But I think what we're going to do, Draymond is not going to play as much. We're going to just insert Trace Jackson Davis into the starting 5. I know that definitely hurts the floor spacing, but hopefully, like, I don't know, man. Like, we have basically 3 non-shooters in the starting 5, and Wiggins isn't great. So we basically have 4 plus shooters because Podziemski is the only guy. I mean, like, Wiggins is okay at 35%, but Topic ain't hitting his threes. Neither is Trace or Şengün. I don't know. Maybe we do something like this. Maybe we just ask Pods to play the 1 this year and we start Buddy Hield. And we'll have Topic coming off the bench just to have some more floor spacing out there. So I would also like to go... I mean, yeah, Simone Fontecchio has not been good for us. I'm going to see what I can get out of Will Riley and Alex Karaban throughout the second half of the season as well. And Shea wins MVP, followed by AJ DeBanza in Houston, and they own our first round pick as well. William McNeely is your 6th man of the year in Brooklyn in year number 2. He is such a good shooter. Wemby Depoy, most improved goes to McNeely, and Luka, clutch player of the year. The Thunder are also so good, and we're in the same conference as them. So we do get Alperen Şengün on All-NBA second team. He had a strong second half. He ended up averaging 20.5 points, 11.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists. Like, Şengün is our guy going forward that we're building around, and I guess Houston, maybe didn't really need him. I think they're in a good spot. Amen Thompson ends up on All-NBA third team. De'Aaron Fox, All-NBA third team in Miami. J-Dub made it as well. Like, the Thunder are unreal. Shout out to Bilal being on all defensive first team. Ryan Dunn, Nick Claxton, Kawhi Leonard on defensive second team. So the Golden State Warriors, damn, that hurts. We did not make the play-in tournament towards the end of the year. We just missed out on it by 1 game. Hopefully our pick isn't too lucky in the lottery because the Rockets are getting it. Oh, I should have threw like a top 3 protection on it. I don't think I did, so this sucks. Yeah, this was definitely a disappointing season. I wish I would have my draft pick, but it's gonna be okay because I think Pods and Şengün, it's a good foundation, and if we can sign somebody in free agency, because we're going to have 57, possibly 60 plus million off the books, we could have a little bit more of an exciting core next year. I don't know Topic, what it's going to look like. He's 21 years old still. I still think there's something there. Trace Jackson Davis is still under contract, and I think Will Riley can be a good player for us going forward. Karaban, man, he was very disappointing. So yeah, we're just not in the playoffs, which is a shame because I thought we were going to be in the playoffs this year, but I guess I didn't make too good of additions from last offseason. Tatum and Shea winning conference finals MVPs, and the Celtics win in 7 with Jason Tatum being your finals MVP. That is their first ring since the 2024 season. So yeah, the Thunder almost three-peated as the Celtics have gone to 4 straight NBA finals and they're 2-2. So looking through the retirements, I do not see Draymond Green. There goes Drew Holiday. There goes Jimmy Butler in Washington, Andre Drummond, Cody Zeller, KCP. There goes Tom Tibbs, Doc Rivers, and Mike Malone. Some pretty good head coaches. And I think next offseason we'll add some expansion teams as well. So our pick is 9. Oh my God. And look at the Nets, man, having all those picks, and they're a solid team right now. So thank God that pick does not move up into the top 4. That would have hurt a lot. So we are going to give the Rockets the 9th pick in this draft, which does suck. I wouldn't mind trying to get a first round pick in this draft, just players that are under contract right now that I could move. I mean, Moses Moody, do I want to pay him $18 million a year? Do I think he's worth it, or should I invest into a cheaper player right now? I mean, that's a possibility. So going through potential Moses Moody trade offers, I think the best one, well, I can get Damian Lillard or Chris Middleton, I'll pass. Is Philadelphia willing to offer me 2 first-round picks for Moses Moody? I should probably capitalize on this right now. $18 million, I don't think I'm going to pay him. And I get the Clippers unprotected first next year, which could have some value. And Philly's unprotected in 2030. Who knows what they're going to be then. I think we got to capitalize on that. And Moses Moody is now a Philadelphia 76er. So now that frees up money in free agency, but man, our bench is getting thinner and thinner with veteran talent at this point. Moses Moody, I guess, is a veteran. He's been in the league for 5-6 years. So we're going to have to figure out who we're going to replace him with. So Taj Ariza goes number 9 to the Houston Rockets, the son of Trevor Ariza. So we don't have any rookies here to sign. Buddy Hield opts out of his $10 million player option. I'm going to pick up the team option on Topic, so I guess we inherit his rookie contract. And Caravan, I'm going to pick up his team option as well. I would like to bring back Buddy Hield. Nikola Jokic is a free agent. Kevin Durant, maybe a reunion here. Jalen Green is a free agent as well. So I think there are some guys that we could try to target. I mean, obviously Jokic would be fun, but Jokic and Şengün, I don't really, see that. Chet Holmgren is unrestricted. Okay, that is definitely a big deal. Signed with the Raptors last year. I don't really get that at all, but I think that is a golden opportunity to have a Chet and Şengün front court. I'm going to offer Chet a deal. That could really help us out, and that is why I needed cap space. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on Chet right now because I think that should be our biggest priority, but we are the only team to offer him a 4-year deal. Wow, that would be kind of insane. I wonder if Scoot Henderson was going to become unrestricted because he was solid in Portland. Jaden Ivey is unrestricted as well. Josh Giddey. Like, there's some good talent out there. But we just landed Chet Holmgren in free agency. Do I have to renounce the rights on Buddy Hield? I do not. So let's sign Chet. 4 years, 165. That is a monster contract. Welcome to the New Look Warriors led by Chet, Şengün, and Podziemski. And what I love about Chet is he's able to space the floor for us, like unreal season from him last year. And then we're going to have Şengün there at the 5, Podziemski at the 1 or the 2. We'll figure out where he's going to be next year. Maybe Topic can start for us at the 1. I mean, this 4-man bench unit is just extremely young. I know Trace is a little bit older, same with Caravan, but like their years of experience aren't insanely high. I would like to bring back Buddy Hield on a 2-year deal. Which leaves us with about $23 million left in cap space. I just don't think I'm bringing back Draymond Green whatsoever. And funny enough, he may sign with the Lakers $11 million a year. Let's see if we get Buddy Hield. Come on, buddy, come back on that deal. Boom, there we go. 2 years, $20 million. I wonder if Draymond did end up signing in Los Angeles. And he did. 2 years, $22 million. He joins the Lakers. Well, LeBron's not there anymore, Draymond. So we actually have a little bit of cap space, like I said. I think we should try to go for another point guard because I think Podziemski's, I mean, he's going to play the 2. We'll see. I think trying to get another point guard or maybe another just wing in general. I could bring back Wiggins if I wanted to, but I think I'd rather take like a flyer on like a Julian Strother, somebody like that. Looking at the point guard options, D'Anthony Melton, we did have him to start things off. Scottie Pippen Jr., I wouldn't mind either, but I mean, yeah, I don't mind Pippen. Let me see if I can bring in Strother on a 2. Let's do a 3-year deal. Let's do a team option on the last year, about $10 million a year. And a flat rate. Will he accept that? I think he will. And then I wouldn't mind bringing in Scottie Pippen Jr. on a 2-year deal, team option, lower that a little bit. Will he accept that? He will not. So I will offer him a different deal. And if I gave, oh, he's actually not even interested in signing with us anymore. Okay, that is kind of a shame. All right, so I don't need, I think, like a true backup point guard. We could go for another wing. Like, I wouldn't mind giving Josh Hart a 1-year deal. But we got to see the cap space we have after that Strother signing. So I could bring back Wiggins. I mean, I don't mind bringing back Wiggins on a 1-year deal. I feel better about Wiggins being my 8th man than I do being like my 3rd best starter like he was last year. We could bring in Jonathan Mogbo, but he doesn't really provide much floor spacing. Capella, Pirtle. I mean, I'm fine with what we got. I think in the big man front, Aaron Wiggins, is he the better Wiggins? We could steal all the former Nugget role players. Dylan Brooks. I think I'm going to bring back Andrew Wiggins on a 1-year deal. maybe a 2-year deal, 2-year guaranteed. He's going to regress, I think. So I'm going to make that front loaded because I think he's going to regress. But I'll give it to him fully guaranteed. 2 years, $23 million. I don't know why he's listed as a shooting guard, but I'm also going to use my mid-level exception on Toumani Camara. 2-year deal. I think I'm just going to make it fully guaranteed. I don't think he's going to crack the rotation, but it's going to be nice depth to have in case we make a trade. Might change his position around a little bit. I don't know how I feel about him at the shooting guard position. There we go. So this was a very active free agency period for us. KD stays with Phoenix. I guess we had the biggest switch with Chet Holmgren coming to Golden State. Kyrie goes to Detroit. RJ Barrett to the Nets. 1 year, $14 million. That's a steal. Chet Holmgren is a 93 overall. Shane Good's a 92. There's Pods. There's Topic. Wiggins starting to regress. Will Riley goes up to an 80 overall. I'm excited to see him and Strother off the bench. All right, so we are going to be bringing a team to Tennessee, the Tennessee Ramblers, and then we're also going to be bringing a team to Buffalo as well. So not a Canadian team, but close to it. I guess them and Toronto could have a nice rivalry going forward. So we're adding a third New York team at the end of the year. Going over this rotation, it's going to be pretty deep again, I think. So I think I'm going to have Pods be the shooting guard. If I change his position back to shooting guard, he goes up to an 86. So we're going to have that. Backup position will be the point guard. So if we make it Topic at the 1, Podziemski at the 2, I think Andrew Wiggins at the 3, but he's not going to play a ton of minutes. I'm fine with that. Holmgren and Şengün obviously at the 4 and the 5. Caravan, 15 minutes a night. I don't have too much confidence in him. Buddy Hield, just because he's been proven here. I want him to stay as a 6 man, 23 minutes a night. Strother at about 18. Will Riley probably the same at 18. Then we got Trey Jackson-Davis getting 12 minutes a night. I don't think Toumani Camara is going to crack the rotation because I would like to see Derek Queen in there. 7 minutes a night for Derek Queen is fine, I think. Because Topic, 25. Let's go 33 to Pods. Let's go 34 to Holmgren. 33 to Şengün. This might be Chet Holmgren's team now. We are 4-star perimeter centric. We start off the season against the Thunder, and we beat Chet's old team. That is a very good start. Nice to see Topic scoring the ball a little bit. Hopefully this is a good year for us, but if we are bad, we do own our first round pick at least. But it looks like we're off to a 500 start. We go 2-2. We beat the Grizzlies by 18. And then we get blown out by the Pelicans. I don't really know how that happens. Like in this game, Chet 2 of 8, Wiggins 2 of 11. Yeah, I think I'm going to remonitor the situation like December 1st, and if Wiggins isn't playing good, I'm going to get either Riley, Caravan, or Strother into the starting 5 because 2 and 4 is kind of disappointing. Yeah, and 10 and 11 to start off the year after we just signed Chet Holmgren is really disappointing, so I think we're going to make a quick lineup adjustment here. That's why I was scared about giving Wiggins 2 years fully guaranteed if he's going to like fully regress. So if we were going to remove Wiggins and say we dropped him down to like 17 minutes a night, do I get Buddy Hield in? No, I kind of like him off the bench. I think we get Julian Strother in. Honestly, like I'd rather see what Will Riley can do over Wiggins. So Riley's going to play more minutes tonight. And we'll go about 23 to Julian Strother. And we're here at the trade deadline with an above 500 record. We are 27 and 22. So it looks like the Thunder don't even need Chet Holmgren because they're the 1 seed with Ben Simmons as their current center right now. It's cool that they got Drake Powell and Ian Jackson. Both are playing at UNC currently. We are the 6th seed in the West. And taking a look at the scoring, it looks like we do have a foundational big 3 offensively of Pods, Şengün, and Holmgren. I'd like to get them more minutes tonight, but I don't know who I really remove from the rotation. Like right now, I don't know. Like if Wiggins is giving us good defense, maybe he cracks the rotation in the playoffs. Alex Caravan is turning into an elite 3-point shooter. Trey Jackson-Davis still a good backup center, but I think eventually like Derek Queen could take that from him. Even though I do think Derek Queen is a free agent at the end of the year. Hopefully he doesn't have like a dumb, I don't know. We do have him under contract. Was he no, he was a first round pick. I am tripping there. So yeah, the only person we could re-sign is Şengün, but I think we should definitely wait on that. No need to rush that right now. I don't know if I'm going to make a trade here at the deadline. Nikola Topic has been playing well. He's a restricted free agent at the end of the year. But a player I'm targeting is going to be Caden Boozer here in Dallas. He's the 17th overall pick. I think he went right ahead of us in that 26th draft. And he's not playing for them. And I think he could be like a replacement to Nikola Topic if he doesn't work out. I don't know if I would have to give up Nikola Topic to get this done. Like, would I be able to use Toumani Camara's contract to get this done? They would want that Clippers first round pick, which I don't want to move. I don't really want any of that right now. I would throw in my first round pick this year to get this trade done. Would it get it done? They would want Wiggins and my 2030 pick for PJ Washington. I don't hate that, but I don't really want to move Wiggins for PJ Washington. I don't know. Does multiple seconds get this done? One from the Hawks, one from the Warriors. They're going to say no. They want Buddy Hield. They either want Buddy Hield or Andrew Wiggins, which I get. Like Toumani Camara, I feel like hasn't shown too much. I don't really want to move any of these guys. Indy Howard, like 1-star player, does probably not get it done. I don't know if I want to do 2 first-round picks for an unproven guy. So it keeps coming down to Wiggins, basically, for PJ Washington, which I don't hate. It still gives me a tradable contract, and I'd feel better benching, I guess, PJ Washington than Andrew Wiggins down the stretch. So I think I'm going to do this trade, which kind of stinks because I kind of like Wiggins being here for this long, and he's an OG for us. He's a vet. But we're going to do this trade with the Dallas Mavericks if they will accept this. Okay, now you're getting a little bit greedy. Do I have to throw in either 2 seconds or my first this year? Let's see. 2 seconds does not get it done. Wow, we are really trying to get something done here. I wouldn't mind Reeves over PJ. But then I guess it gives me a tradable contract on draft night. So, one last thing here. Can we do my first round pick this year? They're going to say no. I'll do 2 seconds, and then hopefully we can call this a deal. Because they're being a little bit greedy, I think. Come on, really? All right. It is cool, though, that they have Cameron Boozer and Caden Boozer in Dallas. Like, that is a cool wrinkle, but I don't know if that would upset team chemistry. I do not want to move Derek Queen in this deal at all. Let me throw in... who was it going to be? It was going to be Wiggins and Kamara for Boozer in Washington. What's the counter here? Buddy Hield. All right. Really? Why? I don't want to move Nikola Topic in this deal. Like, I really like the idea of getting Caden Boozer, who's in the 26th draft, and we could develop to be our franchise point guard. Because I think I could develop him well, but this is kind of pissing me off. What about if we did Austin Reeves instead of PJ Washington? Does that get it done? Does not. Does the 2 seconds get it done? What about 3 seconds? So you can't really counter. Will they do this? They will not. All right. So maybe I'm just not going to make a move at the deadline. Maybe that's going to be somebody I try to target in the offseason. Because I'm potentially looking at like the next guy. And I don't know if it's going to be Topic if he wants $30 million a year, which I could see him asking for. I can't re-sign him right now, so I have no idea. And Ja Morant wins the 2028 NBA MVP, averaged 10.2 assists, shot 38% from 3. Shout out to Ja. Mikel Brown Jr., who was the 16th overall pick a couple years ago by the Pelicans, gets Rookie of the Year, 6th Man of the Year, Drake Powell, Wemby Depoy, Darren Peterson, most improved, him and Trae Young. And if Trae Young is still there in that backcourt, is kind of elite. And then Ja Morant won Clutch Player of the Year. Do we get a Warrior on the All-NBA teams? We do. Alperen Sengun makes a second straight All-NBA team. He's just not going to shoot 30% from 3, I guess. But you know what? He had a very good year. 5.5 assists, which I just love to see. Chet Holmgren, all defensive first team. So not only are we getting somebody that can space the floor so well, we're going to get a top 5 defender in the league. And we didn't have any rookies. So we finished this year as the 6th seed. We're going up against the MVP and Ja Morant in round number 1. They have Zach Edey, Pascal Siakam front court. So Jaren Jackson Jr. is coming off the bench. VJ Edgecombe and Ja is kind of scary in that backcourt. I don't have confidence that we can pull off an upset. Hopefully our front court can get it done, but we'll see. So for the playoffs, I hate to do it, but I don't think I'm going to play Wiggins in the playoffs. I know he helps us out defensively, but I don't think I'm going to play him. I like Derek Queen, but I don't think I'm going to play him either. I think we're going to go 15 to Caravan, 15 to Trace Jackson Davis. And I don't know if Caravan and Buddy Hield are kind of redundant with each other, but we're going to test it out right now. I'm going to go 38 to the front court. I'm going to go 38 to Pods. We could probably do 27 to Strother. Let's do 28 to Nikola Topic. All right, here we go. Round number 1 against the Grizzlies, a rematch of round 2 in 2022. And we take game 1 in blowout fashion. So we blow them out on their home floor. Pods 24, Sengun 24, Holmgren 21. Okay, Will Riley 14. I like that a lot. Game 2, we take a 2-0 lead. We steal them both in Memphis. Wow. If we get to game 3 in Golden State, we are cooking. Game 3 does go to Memphis. Are they just going to win on the road as well? And it's just no home team's going to win? Yep, that's pretty much how it's going to go to start things off. Great. Sengun 7 of 23. Chet 6 of 10. Buddy Hield 3 of 10. Game 5. We are up 3-2. We won 144-119. Chet and Pods come on for 64. Something I want to go back to was game 3. Ja Morant and the Grizzlies beat us by 14, and Ja shot 6 of 22, and Siakam shot 3 of 13. That is an embarrassing loss for us. Are we going to a game 7? Yes, we are. Every road team has won so far. So if that trend continues, we should be beating them right now on the road. Game 7. Come on, continue that trend, 2K. Every road team is going to win this. We have a good first quarter, fine second quarter, not the best third quarter. We're coming down to the wire here. Can we win it? Yes, we can. Every road team won in this series. Pods with 31 in game 7, Chet with 26 and 12, and we advance. All right, that is definitely an upset. I was not confident about that. Shout out to Pajemski, who's looking like a playoff riser right now. Chet Holmgren was great in round number 1. Sengun needs to be better. Topic definitely needs to be better as well. Same with Strother, Buddy Hield. This was kind of carried by Chet and Pods. We're taking on the 7-seeded Pelicans, who have starting 5 of players they still have today. Herb Jones is off the bench. DeRozan, Carter Bryant, and Mikel Brown, the Rookie of the Year. They beat the Rockets for us in 6. That would have been a cool Sengun-Kuminga revenge series, as Kuminga was really good for them in round number 1. Game 1 against the Pelicans, we lose this. They played each other in the playoffs before. Anthony Davis was on these Pelicans teams, going up against like the death lineup Warriors at times. So we end up winning game number 2. Pojemski with 25, Sengun 21, Buddy Hield with 20. Game 3 goes to Golden State, 145 124. Pods fouled out in 29 minutes, but he had 36 points. Great game from Strother. Solid game from Topic, facilitating, not much shooting. We dropped game 4, so we're tied 2 games apiece. 4 guys scored 20 plus in the big 3, and Buddy healed. We win game number 5. So game 1, we lost. Okay, game 6, we lose. So back-to-back series, we're going to a game 7. They definitely have the momentum. They just blew us out in game number 6. Luckily for us, though, we are home in game 7. Let's hope we are able to pull things off, even though I think we've been better on the road in these playoffs. Great third quarter. We're up by 1 here in the 4th. It's going to be another nail-biter. But the Golden State Warriors have an unreal 4th quarter, outscoring them by 22 points. We win 147-127. Podziemski with 38. Şengün with 29, 14, and 6. 3 steals as well, as we're in the Western Conference Finals. So, hey, I don't know if this is like a 2021 Hawks, like 2024 Pacers run that we're getting a little bit lucky, but hey, we're in the conference finals. Podziemski was great in round 2. So was Şengün after a disappointing round 1. So are we going to have, for like the 4th straight year, Boston and OKC, or is it going to be a little bit different? Chet, I need you to ball out against your former team. Game 1 goes to Golden State. 125-102 Chet. This is going to be Chet's series. He just dropped 40 and 10. 3 blocks as well. Game 2 goes to OKC. Shea had 33. Chet had 30 and 5 blocks. Man, Chet is playing like a man possessed right now against his former team. We take game 3. Yes. 4 blocks for Chet. He knocks down 5 threes. Julian Strother had a great game. Şengün had a great game. He knocked down 4 threes. And we take a 3-1 lead. For the first time in 4 years, the Thunder potentially won't be in the NBA Finals. Don't blow a 3-1 lead. Yes. Wow. Wow. We're in the NBA Finals as a 6th seed, man. Let's go. And we just beat the OKC Thunder. Let's see if Boston is going to advance to the finals. They do. Şengün gets conference finals MVP. Tatum once again in the East. I really thought that was going to be Chet winning that because he averaged 27 and 8 against his former team. 3.5 blocks as well. So here we go. A rematch of the 2022 NBA Finals. They no longer have Drew Holiday, but they have Lonzo Ball, who's probably the next best thing at this point. They developed Johnny Furphy and James Wiseman, 2 former Pacers off that bench. Oh, I'm nervous. Game number 1 goes to Golden State. Wow. All right. We won game number 1 against OKC. Pods with 28. Strother with 22. Game number 2 goes to Golden State. We are 2 games away from winning it all. Podziemski dropped 45. What a playoff riser. And we have him on like a steal of a contract. Game 3 goes to Golden State. Wow. Oh my God. Chet with 34. Pods with 25. Şengün with 25. Are we about to beat the Thunder in 5 and sweep Boston? Because round 1 we went to a game 7. Round 2 we went to a game 7 against the Grizzlies and the Pelicans. But the 2 best teams in the league over the last 4 years, we're gonna beat convincingly. All right, damn it, we're not gonna sweep them. We end up losing by 20. Derek White had 26. All right, that's fine. So let's get on to game number 5. I would have loved to win on our home floor. That is not gonna happen. All right, they went on a 16-0 run to start the 2nd quarter. Oh, okay, let's not blow a 3-0 lead, please. Let's not blow a 3-0 lead. We lose 2 straight. Oh, God. No. I was getting so cocky. But when you're up 3-0, that's never happened before. Oh, my God. We're going to a game 7. No way. No freaking way. Oh, my God. We're going to a game 7. Can't make this up. You can't make this up. What? Oh, my God. It's going to be in Boston. They have all the momentum. This is exactly what happened in the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals. Miami's up 3-0. Boston wins 3 in a row. But then Miami won game 7. I need that again. Oh my God, we're going to blow a 3-0 lead. They're coming out firing right now. We have a good 2nd quarter. Strong 3rd quarter. Oh my God, we're tied right now. You got to be kidding me. All right, good end to the 3rd. Up by 14. Up by 14. Thank freaking God. Oh man, I was nervous. Very nervous that we were about to blow a 3-0 lead, and that's just gut-wrenching, man. That is gut-wrenching, because the Warriors have blown leads in the playoffs in the past. I'm just throwing that away. I mean, we're up by 13 with 2 minutes left. I don't think I'm going to blow this. You never know, though. They do have some really good 3-point shooters out there. Topic, though, with the steal, kicks it up to Strother. I know Chet's not the strongest in the world. He's got 21 and 11. Are they going to send the double team? I mean, we don't really have a lot of spacing around this, but Chet inside. Chet is going to make that. He's got 23 and 11. I don't know who's going to get finals MVP on this team. Is it going to be Şengün? Is it going to be Pods? Like, it could definitely be Pods. It could also be Chet Holmgren as well, as Jaylen Brown got inside. Still up by 13, though, with 80 seconds left. I don't think we lose this. Nikola Topic showing that he could probably be replaceable. So if you're asking for a ton of money, don't know if you're going to get it from us, but that is going to be a big decision. Who's going to be the starting point guard on this team next year? Topic and Holmgren working the pick and roll. Chet, really? You can't get that over Lonzo Ball? What are you doing? Number 2 pick on number 2 pick. Oh, it's also funny to see James Wiseman go up against this former team. I didn't mention that as well. Obviously, he was drafted number 2 as well by the Golden State Warriors. Tatum is going to miss that. Rebounded by Şengün. That's his 13th rebound of the night. Who's trying to stat pad to get this ring? Pod's going to the rim, and he's going to finish that inside. He's got 17, 9, and 5. That is, the dagger already happened, but that is definitely going to seal it for us. And we're going to finally win a championship. It's sad we didn't win it with Steph, but last year, getting the 9th pick in the draft to going on a run this year, winning the NBA Finals as the 6th seed. Like I said, though, you beat, oh my God, we had 3 game 7s. We beat Memphis as the 6th seed, upset over the 3 seed by 7, beat the Pelicans, who were the 7th seed, in 7, and then we beat the Thunder somehow in 5. That I didn't really expect. We won 3 in a row to win that. And then we go up 3-0 against Boston, lose 3 in a row, and then they end up winning Game 7. Thank God, because if we blew a 3-0 lead to lose the NBA Finals, I don't know what I would have done. I should have probably trimmed the rotation down a little bit, but either way, I'll take it. The Golden State Warriors have won the 2028 NBA Finals. And there's Chet holding up the 2028 Finals trophy. So take your guesses who you think Finals MVP is going to be. I know who it is. I saw the cutscene, and it is Alperen Şengün. He averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. So we traded for an eventual Finals MVP. Yeah, he joined some nice names right there. I do want to see, did he have the best numbers for us in the Finals? It could have went to Pods. It definitely could have went to Pods, but I'm fine with it going to Şengün. Let's see who retires this year. Wow. James Harden and Kevin Durant played with each other this year. Paul George retires in Philly. There goes Vooch, Dame. Draymond, 1 year into that 2-year deal in LA. Beal retires, so the Suns just have 3 guys coming off the books. Whoa! Damn. I don't think I was going to trade Wiggins. He didn't play for us in the playoffs. Maybe that was like, all right, I'm going to call it a quits. He retires. Buddy Hield! Wow, he retires as well. Man, Buddy Hield never really gave us a bad year. Thank you, buddy, for what you did for us. KD, Harden, Lillard, and Paul George all head to the Hall of Fame. We do retire Draymond's number and Klay Thompson's number. Both of those guys will be going to the Hall of Fame as well. We are going to add 2 new expansion teams to the league, the team in Buffalo and the team in Tennessee. So league realignment, we might as well have them in the Atlantic. Honestly, though, it probably makes more sense to have them, I was going to say in the Central, but since Toronto's in the Atlantic. So, yeah, I think we're going to have Tennessee in the Southeast, and then, or do we put them in the Central? I don't know. I think we may do 6 teams there. Where did we remove a Central team? Yeah, we're not going to put the Bucks in the Northwest. We're going to keep the Bucks in the Central. But I probably should move a team to the West. All right. So, I mean, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. Let me figure this out. You know what? I guess we'll do that. It's different. We'll put the Bucks in the Northwest. We'll put the Tennessee Ramblers in the Central. Sure. Or we could put them in the Southwest as well, if we wanted to. Because, you know what? They're kind of close to Memphis, yeah, in the same state, obviously. So let's do that. There's gonna be 2 teams there, and then we'll actually just put the Bucks back there in the Central. So we're gonna ride with that. Draft lottery time. Let's see where we're picking. We do have that Clippers first round pick, which is top 4 right now. It may drop to like 6 or 7 with the new expansion teams, but hey, I will take that. It's number 2. We win the NBA Finals, and we get the 2nd overall pick in the draft. Jazz are number 1, Hawks 3, Nets 4 via the Knicks, and then you have the Buffalo Royals at 5 and the Tennessee Ramblers at 6. We also have the Thunder's pick, or excuse me, our pick at 32. And I thought we were going to have the Sixers pick, but we do not in this draft. That's 2030, I think. So Steve Kerr is a free agent. Let's give him a 4-year deal to come back. And I think it's an easy decision on who I'm not going to keep. It's going to be Toumani Camara. So I guess signing him last year helped me not lose like an Alex Caravan or Derek Queen in this draft. So Jaime Jaquez, number 1 pick. We have Emmanuel Quickly going number 2, Noah Clowney 3, John Collins 4, Ben Suraf 5. Okay, Isaiah Stewart. There goes Quentin Grimes. Some good names here. I thought that was going to be LeBron James. No, but we also saw Toumani Camara go 11.2 to, I think that was the Ramblers. So, yeah, let's move on here. We're good to go as we are here at the NBA draft. Now, let's take a look here at the mock drafts. It looks like Adrian Person. Not a fun name. Person. They put that last name too often. Clear number 1. Looks like one of those elite center prospects you see out of TCU. We could look to trade this pick. Jay Turner, 6'6" guard from Minnesota. Does not look bad whatsoever. Is this... Yeah, it's never really a consensus number 2. We could go Edward Sims, 6'6" guard, 21 years old. We do kind of need a point guard. We don't know who the franchise guy is going to be. So Adrian Person, 7'3" center, TCU goes number 1. No surprise there. So you know what? I'm going to take Edward Sims. He's a 6'6" guard out of Syracuse. We'll see how he's going to be. Looks like he's a solid defender. But we'll see. Not a good finisher. We'll see how he's going to be inside for us. But he could be our starting point guard next year with Nikola Topic leaving, 6'6" guard from Syracuse. I'm excited about him. Jay Turner goes number 3, so we're going to keep an eye on him over the course of their careers. And then we also got Victor Green there at pick 32, another wing. Obviously, Buddy Hield and Andrew Wiggins retired, so we may need some guys to fill in. Ed Isley, we got there at 41, another guard. Going to pick up the team options on Riley, Queen, and Caravan. Brunson is a free agent. Nikola Topic, I will give the qualifying offer to, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what he's asking for in free agency. Topic is asking, I don't even have bird rights on him, actually. Yeah, I don't think I'm able to afford Nikola Topic. Let's see how much he is asking for. $45 million. Yeah, I don't think you're getting that from anybody, bud. So what I'm actually going to do is use my mid-level exception on Lonzo Ball. It's a 2-year deal. I think he's going to start for us right away. And then maybe in year 2, it's going to go to our number 2 overall pick. So with us signing Lonzo, I'm probably going to get rid of or not bring back Topic, like, regardless. But I think if we get him on the qualifying offer, I'll trade him and get maybe a first round pick out of him, because I think he would definitely go for that. Also going to sign some good system fits like Josh Okogie and Caleb Martin. As Zion Williamson also signed with the 76ers. And we do get Topic back on the qualifying offer. So before we even go through player progression, I'm going to look to trade him. And the Clippers, maybe not learning their lesson. They are giving me their 2031st, so not this year's, but they get Topic, who is a good player. I'm getting Santi Aldama. I feel like I had him at one point, but maybe not. Actually, no, I think I'm thinking of a different rebuild. Maybe the Bulls franchise. It's a 1-year deal, $8 million. Could be a tradable contract at one point. So we're going to do that trade. Şengün's up to a 94. Will Riley is an 85. Pods is an 86. Riley's going to be a good 6th man. I may even move him to small forward because he's 6'9". I feel like Trey Jackson-Davis has become our, like, Kevon Looney at this point, because he's going to be playing here for a little bit longer. So I think Edward Sims is going to get about 18 minutes tonight, maybe 20, honestly. Trey Jackson-Davis can get 16, Derek Queen 14, 23 to Caravan and Strother. That may actually change. Let's go 33 to Şengün. Yeah, I think that's honestly going to change. So, do I want to play Caravan last? Probably. 19 minutes tonight is fine with me. Sims will probably give 18 to the number 2 pick. And let's go 14 to TJD and Derek Queen. So, I have 8 minutes left. See, I'd like to go like 26 to Will Riley. I'd like to go at least 33 to Pods, but I feel like I should go one more to Chet. So big 3 is going to get 33 minutes a night. System proficiency is 4-star perimeter centric. If I look to change Will Riley's position to a small forward, does he go up? He does, to an 87. So I want to do that. I don't know if I'm going to change any other positions out here. So I think we're good for now. Game 1 on the road against the Pacers. We win by 32. Trying to go back to back. Will Riley, good start to the season. I don't remember if he played his rookie year. Is he a free agent at the end of the year? No, he's got another team option, which is nice. We could ink up TJD on an extension. Honestly, depending how much Derek Queen is asking for, that's not the worst idea in the world to think about. So there's a chance Şengün could opt out of his player option, so we're just going to ink him up on a massive $200 million extension to stay with the Warriors. Trey Jackson-Davis, honestly, 2-year deal to come back. Why not? Like, if we get priced out of Derek Queen, that's not a terrible idea. And he has been here for a while now, since the 2023 draft. We are really good at the trade deadline. Will Riley has been incredible for us. And that looks like a home run of a draft pick. So I think we took him over Caden Boozer. It'll be interesting to see how kind of they play throughout the course of their careers. I mean, did they play Caden Boozer in this game? Is that Cameron? I assume that is Cameron. Caden playing about 20 minutes a night. And Wemby wins the 2029 MVP. So Ja last year, Wemby this year. Adrian Person ends up winning Rookie of the Year, averaging 5.2 assists. Jeremy Sohan, 6th Man of the Year in Dallas. They also signed Moses Moody as well. Braden Burry's pretty good player there over in Tennessee. At one point, we will add 2 more expansion teams, so we'll have 34. Who knows? At the end of this rebuild, we may have 36 teams in this league. Alperen Şengün, 20 and 10.5 was really good and makes another All-NBA team, 2nd team this year. Chet, another great defender, all defensive 1st team. And we do get Edward Sims on all-rookie 2nd team. He averaged 8.5 points, 2.5 assists. Not good efficiency. That happens with rookie guards. He's going to be fine going forward. I still think he's going to be our starter next year. So we finish as the 3 seed in the West, 10.7 point differential. It seems like the top 4 teams in the West are unreal. Us 4 and like the Pistons are the best teams in the league. We're taking on the Dallas Mavericks in round number 1. They got a good team. Derek Lively and Cameron Boozer in that front court is kind of filthy. I can't lie. Taking a look at the stats this year, we did have Şengün leading the way, followed by Pods, who's got 3 years left on that steal of a contract. There's Chet, Will Riley, Caravan, who shot 40% from 3, 90% from the line. Hoping he's not asking for too much in free agency. And for the playoffs, I think Sims is going to play a little bit less the rookie. I don't know if I need to go with Derek Queen and Trey Jackson-Davis. So I think I'm actually going to opt for Derek Queen to see what he can do in the playoffs. We're going to go with the young guy. Sims 10 minutes a night. Let's go 20 to Caravan. I think just 20 to Dwayne Strother is fine, because I would like to go 38 to the front court. I would like to go 30 to Will Riley. I'd like to go 38 to Pods. And we do 3 more to Lonzo Ball. So round number 1 against the Dallas Mavericks. Don't lose in round number 1 after winning the NBA Finals. Oh my God, we lost in 6. All right, well, that is a letdown. That is a Finals hangover, I guess. All right. Chet had 22. Pods had 21. Will Riley struggled from 3. Lonzo hit his 3s. Caravan kind of struggled as well, as Şengün almost averaged a triple-double and shot 45% from downtown. Well, that's kind of disappointing, but we were going up against Luka Doncic, Lively, Cameron Boozer, Sohan, the 6th man of the year. It was a good Mavericks team, but it's disappointing to lose in round number 1. They ended up going to the Western Conference Finals. Thunder, right back in the NBA Finals, going up against the Pistons, who lost in the ECF last year. And the Pistons are really good. Cade Cunningham just won Finals MVP. Cade, Kyrie, Cooper Flagg, Modest Buzelis, Jalen Duren. They have Sword Thompson, Holland, Kessler, Mubako, who's balling out at Indiana right now. So that's a good team. No super notable retirements. I don't even think anybody is going to make it to the Hall of Fame. The Martin brothers retire together, which is kind of cool. Draft lottery time, and the Nets get the number 1 overall pick. The Ramblers 2, Pacers 3, Buffalo Royals are there at number 6. We do have to give Houston our first round pick at 29, the last piece from the Şengün trade. I saw that the Jazz on the Clippers pick, so the Clippers didn't own their pick last year because we had it. They don't own their pick in this draft because the Jazz have it, and then we own it next year as well. Yeah, Edward Sims' contract goes up to $16.5 million. That's insane. So we did get Kobe Hood here in the second round. Just gonna sign him to a full guaranteed contract. Byron Boeheim, he ends up going number 1, 7'2" center out of Wyoming. Would have been cool if he was from Syracuse because of Jim Boeheim. So we got Will Riley coming back on the team option. Same with Derek Queen, Julian Strother, and Ed Isley I will bring back for now. Paolo Banchero is going to be a free agent. I would like to re-sign Alex Caravan for sure. Dylan Harper's restricted, all those guys from the 2025 draft class. Reed Shepard looks really good. But you're not getting $50 million on the open market. I'm sorry, Reed. There's just not enough cap space to go around. Santi Aldama, I'll bring back on a 1-year deal, just because it can become a tradable contract throughout the regular season. Caravan, I think I can get back on a fairly team-friendly deal, and I should be able to get him back on a solid deal. It's going to be a 4-year deal worth $44 million. So, hey, that first-round pick has worked out for us for sure. I wanted to see how Topic did in Los Angeles last year. I don't even know if they're going to re-sign him. Was he good for the Clippers? 13.5 points, 6.5 assists. He was fine. I think we sold at the right time, obviously coming off a ring. We do have a little bit of money to spend. Do I want to spend it? We're fine in the front court. We're fine with wings. I think I'm going to hold on to my mid-level exception until next offseason. So any big switch-ups at the top, Dylan Harper goes back to the Spurs. Edgecombe back to Memphis. Cooper Flagg back to Detroit. Maluach goes back to the Rockets. Reed Shepard. All right, I said he wasn't going to get $40 million a year. He did by the Denver Nuggets. Good for him. Alex Sarr, $150 million from the Lakers. So Şengün's at 94, Holmgren's at 93. Will Riley is up to a 90. Am I about to give Will Riley a max contract? Derek Queen's an 84 overall as well. He's probably going to want like $40 million a year. All right, so we're going to take it pretty easy throughout the regular season. Like, we're going to go lower minutes to the starting 5, and then we're obviously going to trim this rotation down in the playoffs. But I like it a ton. I may be somewhat, not as a seller at the deadline, but I may realize, like, we're not going to be able to afford everybody going forward. So I don't think I'm going to move Lonzo. I like him as a backup guard regardless, but I think like Derek Queen could get moved. I think Will Riley may be too good to trade, so I don't think I'm going to move on from him. Julian Strother could try to capitalize on some value. He's probably gone at the end of the year as well. Let's see if there's any contract extensions we can get done now. Yeah, Pods is going to ask for like a $12 million pay raise, which I totally think he deserves that. So we're going to give him, honestly, $33 million a year. We'll do $33.50, so he's going to get over $100 million guaranteed over the next 3 years. He's an OG Warrior. I want to keep it that way. Strother, like I said, I'm probably going to get priced out of, so he can get moved at the deadline. All right, so I'm going to make this trade with the Bulls at the deadline. We're giving them Julian Strother for JJ Ingram, who is going to be under contract, I believe, for 1 more year with the team option. He could crack the rotation eventually. He's got 2 more years. And we're going to be getting a first-round pick. They've yet to play him, and Strother is an upgrade over him in their rotation. So how is Victor Green doing this year? Because he was the 32nd pick back in 2028. I guess isn't getting too much volume, but we're going to increase some minutes out there. So now I think Caravan is going to take reins as the 6th man. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get Edward Sims some more minutes tonight because he's been much better in year number 2. And then let's go 34 to the big 3, 31 to Will Riley. And that's going to be the only move I make at the deadline. We are the 4th seed in the West. As Cameron Boozer, son of Carlos Boozer, wins MVP in year number 4 for the Dallas Mavericks. If they can keep Luka around, that is going to be an elite duo that could win multiple rings. But the Thunder, they don't need Chet. They're 72 and 10 this year. It's kind of unreal. Nolan Traore already signed with the Kings, leaving Utah after 4 years there. They didn't retain him in free agency. Dallas had 2 guys on All-NBA first team. That's insane. Liam McNeely on All-NBA third team as we finish the season as the 3 seed. So we love playing in this like matchup in round number 1. When we won it all, we were the 6 seed. Last year, we were the 3 seed. Taking on the Kings, Boogie Flan and Nolan Traore is kind of sick. Abraham Bull here on the Kings, 7'1" center out of Sudan. They got Triple J AJ Griffin coming back to the NBA. T-John Salon off the bench. Trayvon Brazile at Arkansas. So him and Boogie Flynn both coming from Arkansas. Kyle Kuzma and Vince Williams on this team as well. If we take a look here at the stats, Will Riley was actually our leading scorer. I think I have to re-sign him. Oh, I'm about to give him a max contract. So we're going to have like 4 max deals on this team, which is so much, so much. I'm a little nervous about that going forward, but we'll figure it out. I don't know who would be the odd man out of this team if we needed to save some money. So Victor Green is not going to be in the rotation for the playoffs. We're going to go like 10 to TJD, who's just been nothing but like a professional for us. He's now 30 years old. 17 to Lonzo, 17 to Queen. We'll go 25 to Caravan, 36 to Shangoon, Holmgren, Pods. I think I'm just going to go 35 to Will Riley, 28 to Edward Sims, the former second pick. We lose game 1 to the Kings, 122-119. Okay. Don't lose this series, please. Back-to-back round 1 losses. As the 3 seed would hurt, we do take a 3-1 lead, though, and we win in 6. In round number 1, Will Riley was actually our leading scorer, and he's showing up in the playoffs. Okay, so we're taking on the MVP, 2 All-NBA first-team guys, and the Dallas Mavericks. It's a good team. Jaden Hardy is their starting point guard. Matisse, Derek Lively's there, Sohan's there, Kobe Buffkin, still have Caden Boozer, Fred VanVleet, Nick Richards. I love that team a lot. Let's see if we can beat them. And we win in 5, so we get revenge from last year. That's a rematch of the 2022 Western Conference Finals. Pods drops 27 points. He was not losing to them again. Can we beat the 72-10 OKC Thunder, who still have Ben Simmons as their starting center? They just have an elite bench, but we lose in 5. That's fair. Cooper Flagg and the Thunder in the finals. So once again, the Thunder are in the NBA Finals. The only year they didn't go was the year we beat them in the conference finals. But they're taking on the Pistons like they played them last year. But this time, the Thunder end up winning, and Shea is your finals MVP. I feel like we could have gone to like 3 finals by now if we were in the Eastern Conference. But Boston was obviously so good. They lost in round 2 to Detroit. I feel like Detroit has now surpassed them as the best team in the East. But they did just lose Kyrie Irving. Kawhi and Marcus Smart retire in Orlando. Kawhi, Kyrie, and DeRozan all head to the Hall of Fame. None of those players played with the Golden State Warriors. I think we're going to add 2 expansion teams, 2 more next offseason. So we do have Philly's pick at 11 from the Moses Moody trade and the Clippers pick at 7, potentially from the Nikola Topic trade. Let's see what happens here. We end up getting number 1. Oh my God, thank you, Philly. Moses Moody, years later, gets me the number 1 overall pick. The Topic pick is at number 9. Wow, I just landed the number 1 pick. So that trade really worked out for us. Is there a really good player in this draft? Rashid Richardson, is that like a guaranteed 1? Okay, this guy, yeah, he looks really good. 6'7" wing out of Virginia. He's the clear 1.1 in this draft, which makes me very excited. Do we have any player comps for him? Oh, LeBron James is his ceiling. That'd be very nice. So that makes it a no-brainer for me. We are going to be drafting Rashid Richardson. Our Sporting News actually has him number 2. Oh, Kevin Stevenson looks pretty good. But I think I'm going to go Rashid Richardson. He's a little bit younger, which I'm fine with that going forward. So we'll have to keep an eye on Kevin Stevenson, but we definitely made the right pick. Now, that makes, I don't know what happens with Will Riley and somebody on this team going forward. So we took Dana McKinney there at 9. Good point guard, I think. And with Lonzo Ball being a free agent, he's going to be the backup to Edward Sims, who's now the full-time starter. We took Jeffrey Ball from San Fran, local guy here, with the 28th overall pick, and Dario Turk with the 2nd round pick we had. I'm going to pick up the team option on Victor Green. Kobe Hood, I am not going to. Yeah, Edward Sims' year 3 contract, $17.29 million. Like Richardson's, it's going to be a lot of money as well. So we're going to give not Isley the qualifying offer because we just drafted a backup point guard. So how much is Will Riley going to cost me? $49 million. Yeah, Derek Queen, you're either coming back on the qualifying offer, or you're not coming back at all. We are going to renounce the rights on Lonzo Ball, Kobe Hood, and Santi Aldama, and Ed Isley, actually. So all those guys are going to be gone. We're going to see what I can get Riley and Derek Queen back on. All right, so I'm going to bring back Will Riley on a 5-year, $156 million extension. That's a lot of money. Derek Queen's probably going to come back on the QO. The Mavericks were able to retain their top 2 guys. Ace Bailey is now a Washington Wizard after spending a year in Chicago. Darren Peterson stays in Atlanta. AJ DeBanta stays in Houston. And yeah, we brought back Will Riley. So we're going to get Queen back probably on the QO. It's going to be the last year. He's a Warrior. We could look to move him at the deadline as well since Trace Jackson Davis is the backup. We still have 3 years left on Şengün's deal. We got 1 year left on Chet's deal. We're going to see how much of that's going to run me up. So this is going to be the rotation with Sims, Pods, Riley, Holmgren, Şengün, as you'd expect. Caravan, Queen, TJD, Rashid Richardson, the number 1 overall pick, JJ Ingram, who we got in that Strawther trade last year, and Dana McKinney. So we're going to have a deep bench throughout the regular season. 4.5-star perimeter centric. I think if we make a trade this year, it's probably going to be something similar to last year, like we traded Julian Strother because I wasn't going to be able to afford him. Might be the same thing with Derek Queen at the deadline. All right, so I'm going to see if I can do Derek Queen to Orlando for Lawrence Pierce and Antoine Rush. Their first round pick's pretty good this year. I doubt they do that. So their 2032 first round pick. So we're getting something for Derek Queen, who's an 89 overall. I just can't afford him. They're going to agree to that. I probably could have got a second first round pick out of there. That's on me. So yeah, now I wasn't going to be able to afford him. Like I said, Trace Jackson Davis is the backup 5. He's going to play 16 minutes tonight. There's Caravan. Should be able to get more minutes to the number 1 pick, Rashid Richardson, who's actually playing pretty well this year. We can get McKinney up to 10, maybe JJ Ingram, see what he can do before he is an eventual free agent. And I'm going to give 2 more minutes to Will Riley. And yeah, we're about to load up Chet Holmgren on a massive 4-year extension to stay with Golden State. And Cooper Flagg wins the 2031 MVP award in his 6th year in the NBA. Luke Wennington, who was a 6th overall pick, to the Buffalo Royals, gets Rookie of the Year. We didn't get anybody on any awards. We did finish as the 4th seed this year. We're going to be going up against the Sacramento Kings in round number 1. It's a fun team, but we did beat them last year as well. Taking a look here at the season stats, we can see that our leading scorer was Will Riley, and he's 25 years old. Sky's the limit because of how efficient he really is. He's 6'9". Also, Pod's giving me another good year. He's 28 years old, turning into a vet on this team. Şengün's numbers were down this year. Something to keep an eye on for sure. I don't know if we'd think about moving him. I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. Sims in year 3, I would like for you to be a little bit better of a shooter. You're a great free throw shooter. Let that translate to your shot. Caravan, get him in the gym. I do have Pods mentoring him. Rashid Richardson, 35% from 3. I'll take that in your rookie year. JJ Ingram, I don't think he's going to crack this playoff rotation. Dana McKinney actually was a solid shooter, so I think he's going to crack the rotation. Ingram's going to go to the bench. 10 minutes there. Probably going to go like 12 to TJD. Let's go 16 to Richardson. 24 to Caravan's fine. 36 to the front court for the playoffs. Honestly, 36 to everybody here. And then we'll go 34 to Edwards Dim. So round number 1 against the Kings. If we can't get past them, maybe we do switch some things up. But we do end up beating them in 5. Unfortunately, the way the bracket is, we do have to face OKC in round number 2. Sims was really bad in round number 1. So is Chet. Hopefully they're better in round number 2 against OKC, who still looks like the best team in the West, but not anymore. We beat them in 6. I feel like when we're not a top 3 seed, we play a little bit better. Yeah, Will Riley. This might be his team as the 25-year-old. 5 years, $156 million, looking like a steal. So can we beat Memphis, Domantas Sabonis? They have Kareem Lopez off the bench to go to the NBA Finals. No! Oh my God, Memphis beats us. Damn. So I think we lost to OKC last year. We lose to Memphis this year, and we lose in the conference finals back-to-back years. Memphis actually wins it all, and Ja Morant now is an MVP in his career. Now a finals MVP as well, as Detroit ended up losing back-to-back finals after winning it a couple years ago. So Pascal Siakam retires on top. There goes Kuzma, Aaron Gordon. Nothing super crazy right there. I wonder when Steve Kerr is going to retire, because he's been coaching for a long time now. I lied about the expansion teams. It's happening next year. So not going back to the finals after winning it a couple years ago is kind of upsetting. We took Del Person there with the 28th pick and Donovan Wagner in the 2nd round. Going to pick up the team option on Edward Sims. Honestly, JJ Ingram, I'm going to decline it. I was happy to get it the 1st round pick for Strother. Ingram was maybe a wild card, but we're going to let him be a free agent. Victor Green, I'm going to bring back Dario Turk. We are not going to. Zion Williamson's going to be a free agent. It's Jay Turner. That was the guy I passed up on for Sims. Interesting. He's been good so far. Antoine Rush, we're going to let walk as well, even though I could use another center. So Ingram, yeah, like I'm not giving you $20 million. Lonzo, I mean, he's that old. We don't really have much of a mid-level exception to use, but I do have a deep enough team. If we do not win it all next year, I think there could be some Şengün trade talks next offseason. And Zion spent 3 years in Philly. Now he's going to the Jazz. 3 years, $190 million. Scoot just got paid by the Wizards. Him and Ace Bailey over there now. So here's our team. Oh man, Rashid Richardson looks good. If we can't go far next year, I don't know. McKinney looks good as well. Is McKinney going to be better than Sims? That would be kind of funny. It is crazy. Giannis is having a farewell tour this year. So it's going to be the same rotation it's pretty much been in the past. And we're going to be adding teams to Las Vegas and Baltimore at the end of the season. Yeah, Cameron Boozer wins his 2nd MVP. It's nice to see different players, though, winning MVPs throughout this. And it's just not like Wemby every year, like he's winning in deep boy every single season. The Thunder get 70 wins a season. It's insane how good they've been in this save and how dominant they've kept that team. So I don't know. I don't know. There's a chance if we have a disappointing exit, like I said, we pivot to moving on from Şengün, who was open to an extension, but we could go in a different route of this team moving forward. So Yeah, this is a big year. Edward Sims definitely had his best year. He's due for a contract extension. I know he's going to want like 40 mil a year, and I don't think I'm giving him that. We're taking on Dallas in round number 1. Why are they not better every single year in the regular season? Luka, Grady Dick, Cam Boozer, Derek Lively. Like, they're going to beat us in round number 1. They probably are. Tied 2-2. Thank God we won in 7. We outscored them by 15. Hey, Edward Sims actually showed up. He did. And he's hitting his threes in the playoffs. Very nice. So that could change the course of this. There's Taj Ariza, who they took with our 9th overall pick back in 2027. This team is unreal. JJ Andrews, Ariza, Whitmore, Debanza, Mayuach. They have Jalen Brunson off the bench. Desmond Bain, Mark Williams. Oh my God, that is the deepest team I've seen, but it doesn't matter. We sweep them. Let's go. Taking on the Thunder here in the conference finals. Can we beat them? They're so good. Can we beat them? We have beaten them in the past, and we win in 7. Şengün is showing me why I shouldn't be trading him. Pistons, Warriors, NBA Finals. We're trying to get our second. We lose game 1. We lose game 2. Don't get blown out. We lose game 3. Are you kidding me? Lose by 4. We lost by 11. By 11 twice. Are we about to get swept? Hey, gentlemen, swept. Very nice. Damn it, man. Such a big win after not making it back to the finals. Cade, 14 points is your finals MVP. We win the finals in 2028. We haven't been back to the finals since, but then we finally do in 2032. Just to end up getting blown out. Very disappointing. Anthony Davis ended up going to the Hall of Fame. He got his jersey retired by the Lakers and by the Pelicans. We are going to add 2 new expansion teams to the league. So we're going to throw Baltimore in the Atlantic. I would like to keep Toronto in the Atlantic. So I think I'm going to throw, I think Tennessee in the Southwest. I don't really want to move them over here, but I don't know who I would keep. I mean, we could probably just do that, right? Vegas in the Pacific. Keep Milwaukee in the Northwest. Am I missing something here? Or no, I think we have an odd amount of teams. So you know what? We're just going to move Tennessee to the Southeast. Well, Baltimore, Buffalo, and Tennessee be here in the Southeast. Keep Milwaukee in the Northwest, and we'll have Vegas go to the Pacific. So draft lottery, it's going to bump some teams down. The Outlaws are going to be picking 5 from Vegas. Baltimore Blue Crabs are going to be picking 6th. We do own Orlando's pick at 21. That is from the Derek Queen trade. Probably could have got better value for him. I think I fumbled that trade. As good as I did on like the Moses Moody trade, the Lively one, or excuse me, the Derek Queen one could have been better. So I'm not going to keep Jeffrey Ball, Del Person, or Donovan Wagner for this upcoming expansion draft. The number 1 overall pick is Jaden McDaniels at 31 years old. I can't see his player card. There's Zach Edey, Marcus Johnson, Devin Vassell goes, Patrick Williams, and then obviously it's going to thin out a 34-year-old Isaiah Hartenstein ended up getting drafted, and our pick Drew Person ended up going to Baltimore. So in the first round, we take William Bosch. I don't think he's related to Chris Bosch. We get Herb Banks there at 30 with our pick, and Claude Booker there in the second round. Gonna pick up the team options on Rashid Richardson, $20 million 3rd-year deal, which is kind of insane. Dana McKinney, really good player though, 41% from 3 as a sophomore. We're gonna let these guys walk. Edward Sims is a $28 million qualifying offer. The salary cap is insane, so I assume he wants more than that. Wemby's about to get $71 million a year. Trace Jackson Davis, we're gonna bring back on a 2-year deal. No surprise there. Sims, $38 million. I just don't think he's worth that. I don't. He's been fine for us, and maybe he breaks out eventually, but I'm not giving him that deal. I'm scared another team will, but hoping I can get it back on a cheaper alternative. So like Bilal Coulibaly ends up signing a big deal with Baltimore. The Outlaws, it looks like didn't make like a massive deal yet in free agency. I guess maybe they drafted guys that are making too much. Honestly, I may just get Sims back on the qualifying offer just because I'm not paying him that much money. His price has gone down a little bit, $28 million. Now that's better. That's better. Can we lock him up? 5-year deal, front load it. I think that's better of a total contract that he's probably deserving of whatever he wanted if it was all $200 million. So let's see. He's probably going to accept it. I think $126 million for this production is very fair. So we're going to do that deal with Sims. Player progression, Şengün, last year of his deal. I don't know if he's going to be back at the end of this year. We will see. Richardson's been really good. I just don't know where he starts on this team, to be honest with you, because Will Riley's not going anywhere. The only thing I could think of, Şengün leaves this offseason, which I'm not opposed to. We move Holmgren back to the 5, and Richardson at 6'7" is the 4, or Will Riley could be the 4 as well, because they are both pretty solid defenders. So Cameron Boozer wins another MVP at the end of the 2033 season. Aaron Starks, a rookie for the Baltimore Blue Crabs, gets Rookie of the Year. Boogie Flynn, 6th Man of the Year. Ace Bailey, D-Point. Most Improved goes to Marcus Johnson in Vegas, and Cameron Boozer is your Clutch Player of the Year. The Knicks went 72-10 this season. So I did re-sign Alex Caravan. Oh my God, man. We can't get out of this 3-6 matchup. We're in it every single year, and I got to play Dallas. Why? How are they not better? They have such a good starting 5. I guess their bench is just that trash. How are the Knicks 72-10? Jasper Johnson, Kareem Lopez, Kuminga. Okay. Okay, Bryson Tilley, Tyron Roy. I thought about trading for Kuminga this season, but it was like Lonzo Ball. Was it Lonzo Ball and Derek Queen? No, it was Lonzo Ball and somebody else that I could have gone Kuminga, but I opted not to do so. Yeah, I don't know if it would have been worth it. It was more like emotional that I wanted to get him. A lot of players there in New York that I'm not familiar with. We ended the season as the 3 seed, like I said. Will Riley was our top scorer. I do think this is going to be the last year, title or not, in the Alperen Şengün Warriors era, which is kind of sad. Dana McKinney is a lights out shooter for us. Rashid Richardson, 25 minutes a night. Let's see what you can do, Şengün. Let's see if you can go out with a bang on this team, just because we are negative 100 million in cap space, and he's a little bit older than everybody else, and he wants a $200 million extension over 4 years, which I can't really give him to. All right, don't lose. Oh my God, come on. Why do I have to keep playing Dallas in round number 1? We lose to them, unfortunately. Şengün, it was probably his last series as a Warrior. I just don't think he's a $200 million man. I know he's a 95 overall, but I just don't think he's worth that. Damn, that is an end of an era. We ended up getting 1 ring in the Şengün era. He was our lone finals MVP back in 2028, but things need to change. We need to show that we are better than OKC. And when we beat OKC, be better than these teams in the East. OKC dominates the West, but they lose to Darren Peterson and the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA Finals. They still have Trae Young. And oh yeah, Jade Turner gets a ring. Is he better than Edwin Sims? Maybe. A lot of notable names are retiring right now. D'Anthony Melton, a Warriors legend, right? So let's see, does Steve Kerr retire? I don't think I'm going to move on from Steve Kerr. We did win another ring with him. So he's got what, 3, 4, 5 rings now in his career. I don't know if we're going to end with 36 teams here in this 20-year rebuild, but let's just see who wins this lottery. Suns, Outlaws, and then the Ramblers via Boston. It's nice to see Boston maybe struggling after they dominated the Eastern Conference. We did beat them in the finals. We do have the 30th overall pick, in which we do draft Ronnie Weber here, 23-year-old wing out of Colorado. Malcolm Murphy, 2 overalls lower. He was pick 68 or excuse me, 64. We are going to pick up the $25 million team option on Rashid Richardson, Dana McKinney, Claude Booker. No. So free agency, Paolo, Cameron, please just go to the Eastern Conference. Cameron Boozer. Not going to give these guys the qualifying offer. Yeah, Şengün's gone. Here at 70 million. Like, no, it's not happening. Go to the Nets, 2 years, 108. I could afford him on that, but I just don't think it's worth it. So we are going to move on from Şengün, which is kind of sad. I think we are going to make either Chet the center, which I think I'm going to do. He's going to go down overall. He's 31 years old. Maybe the Kristaps route, like earlier or later in your career. We're going to have to figure out a backup center over the course of time. So I may look to move Herb Banks and Will Bosch, 2 former firsts. And I'm going to get Cole McKinney and Atlanta's first round pick down the line. I mean, they're a very good team. So yeah, Şengün's gone. This is going to hurt. Maybe provides us a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, we'll see what team he ends up on. Is it going to be the Brooklyn Nets? I hope he does get paid. It would be kind of sad if he ended up getting a minimum. I think that would be stupid. But yeah, he made it out. Does he not have any real offers? Come on, man. Somebody give him a real deal, please. Maybe he signs a 1-year deal and he gets a deal next year. But either way, I'm moving on. I could still sign him, but I'm not going to. I know it says 43 million. Just somebody's going to get him on that deal, and they'll take him. So this is going to be a little bit of a different team. I think we're going to move into an era with McKinney, Richardson, Riley. I like McKinney a ton as well. He's going into year number 3 or 4. Year number 4. He may cost a ton as well. Sims peaking at 86 is interesting. All right, so the last spot in the rotation is a little scary right now. I don't know if it's going to be... I think it might go Harvey Wilkins. We may go the big just because I think he could be a little bit reliable. Harvey was the 17th pick in the second round in 2032. Trish Jackson Davis, 15 minutes a night. Let's go 22 to Caravan, 28 to Dana McKinney. Let's go 34 to Chet. Let's go 32 to Rashid Richardson. I'm excited to see what he could do. Let's go 36 to Will Riley. 34 to, I think 32 to Pods. 31 to Edward Sims. Yeah, Pods is 30 years old now, but he has still been a knockdown shooter for us over time. We're going to see how we can respond in the post-Şengün era. So Luka wins the 2034 MVP award. I don't know the last time he won it. He just averaged 32 points as a 35-year-old. That's his first MVP ever. So Luka gets one before he retires. And Dana McKinney, most improved, man. This is a good player. I can't let Dana go. He's going to get a ton of money. So here's All-NBA first team, multiple Mavericks. Do we get anybody on an All-NBA team? We do not. We do get Chet Holmgren at 31 years old on all defensive second team. Thank God we were able to sign Chet that offseason. We got very lucky. We do finish the season as the 2 seed in the Western Conference. We're taking on the 7 seeded Nuggets in round number 1. They went 43-39 finally. I don't have to take on the Dallas Mavericks in round number 1. I think for the first time in the playoffs, we are going to rock an 8-man rotation. TJD, Caravan, Dana McKinney. Let's go 35 to Holmgren. Rashid Richardson was pretty good this year, former number 1 pick. He's about to get paid. Him and McKinney. Will Riley, 37 minutes. Riley averaged 21 points, a career high. Let's go 34 to Pods. And let's go 34 to Richardson, 31 to Sims. Can we beat the Nuggets in round number 1 as the 2 seed? We do. And we defeat Ace Bailey and Nikola Jokic there. Taking on the Pelicans in round number 2. Last time we took on the Pelicans in round number 2 was the year we won it all. So hopefully we're able to beat them. And we advance to the conference finals to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Last time we met the Memphis Grizzlies in the conference finals, though, they beat us. Cameron Holmes, very good bench player. I think he did win 6th man of the year. And we end up winning at 6. So in the first year post-Şengün, we're in the NBA Finals. Chet Holmgren gets Conference Finals MVP. We're taking on the Pistons. So for the second time in 3 years, we're back in the NBA Finals. Man, the Pistons have been in so many finals so far. I believe this is year number 10. They've been in 3, 4, 5 out of the last 6. That's kind of insane because the Hawks ended up winning it last year. And it's a very good Pistons team. Game 1 goes to the Warriors, though. We won by 17. 44, 10, and 5 for Will Riley. He knocked down 12 free throws. We do end up losing game number 2, though. Wow. Sims had 31, 6, and 8. A great performance there. Game number 3 goes to Golden State. Richardson showing up. So it's a different person every game, which is nice to see. Game 4 goes to Detroit. This was the Chet game. He knocked down 10 free throws. Game number 5 goes to Golden State. We are 1 game away from winning. Come on, get it done. Don't go to a game 7. Let's go. We get our 2nd ring. No Şengün, no problem. Rashid Richardson, the last year on his rookie contract, a playoff riser right there. Switch him to power forward. It does not matter. Good defender. Finals MVP. He is somebody that hopefully can be maybe the next best player. Him and Will Riley in the post-Curry era. Now that Podziemski's getting older, Chet's getting older. Look at all these guys retiring. And we see Giannis, Embiid, and Devin Booker all head to the Hall of Fame. Somebody from the 13, 14, and 2015 draft classes. They all get their jerseys retired. We also have the 13th pick via the Chicago Bulls. That is from the Julian Strawther trade. They do have the 2nd pick, so it's okay for them via Phoenix. And I really need to hit on this pick just because guys are getting more expensive. I need a cheaper rookie that could be a good rotational piece. Dana Bolden, number 1 pick, the Mavericks. How did they get the number 1 pick? Were they that bad this year? Just kind of crazy. I took Claude Oakley, a little bit undersized, but 20 years old, 6'3", wing from Drake. Hopefully could be a good player. And Juwan Morgan there with pick 30. Malcolm Murphy, we are going to let walk. McKenzie Mabako, pretty good player, is going to hit free agency. McKinney and Richardson are going to get the qualifying offers. So, yeah, moving on from Şengün, hopefully he's going to allow me to bring those guys back. So, the unrestricted guys, Brandon Podziemski, 3 years, $81 million. He's going to resign here. 2 years, $10 million for Trace Jackson Davis. We're going to renounce the rights on everybody but Dana McKinney and Rashid Richardson. I don't know if they're going to get any real deals out there. If not, we can wait till the end of free agency, and hopefully I could scoop both of them back up. Hopefully I'm also able to pick up Jackson Robinson from the G League. 3 years, $16 million. He's a good player from Kentucky. Yeah, he was at BYU and then just recently transferred to Kentucky in real life when Mark Pope ended up going there. Sam Thomas, I'm going to try to get on a 2-year deal worth the minimum. Could end up being a 9th guy throughout the regular season. So we are going to get Richardson back 5 years, $184 million. And then hopefully McKinney accepts my 5-year deal as well. 5 years, $165. That's a lot of money. He's going to be making more than Edward Sims, and he's probably going to be coming off the bench. I mean, one of these guys could end up getting traded when we got to figure out who's going to be the post-Şengün era. Will Riley's going to be due for a new extension. Chet as well, but we should save some money on the Chet extension. And we can get these extensions done. Yeah, it's going to be $200 million for Will Riley. Yeah, I got to give him that. He's been our best player. Chet, though, that's a lot for Chet. Could I do 2 years, $100 million? Would Chet do that? I don't know if I flat rate that. That will go down. Will he accept that? He will. All right, 2 year, $100 million extension for Chet. His final 2 elite years in the league. So we are going to finish the season with a 62-20 record. Cameron Boozer wins another MVP award. So the Mavericks are getting plenty of MVPs in this video. The son of Melo, Carmelo Anthony, Keon Anthony gets 6th man of the year in Brooklyn. And Steve Kerr actually got coach of the year. We go 62-20, which may actually be our best regular season in this rebuild so far. If we take a look at our records so far, yeah, 62-20 is the most wins, where we started with 53. Lowest was 36. Of course, that was the year we didn't have our draft pick. Now we're winning 62 games. So it's the best product we put maybe out on the floor. We'll see in the post-Şengün era. I mean, Edward Sims has looked like a positive draft pick, even though he doesn't really live up to number 2 pick hype. Podziemski is still really good. He's the veteran of this team now. Will Riley's really good. Rashid Richardson, though, think he's going to be like a superstar in this league eventually. Chet Holmgren, still really solid, rock solid center. Dana McKinney's really good. Alex Caravan has just been an elite shooter outside of like that 2033 season. So we are taking on the Denver Nuggets in round 1. Jackson Robinson was a great pickup for us as well, as we should beat this Nuggets team. We beat them last year as the 2 seed, and they were the 7 seed, and we do end up winning at 5. Just taking a look here at the playoffs, we do see Will Riley dropping 23 to start things off. Shout out to Tennessee. They're the 5th seed right now. Maybe they would be the first expansion team to go to the conference finals. Can we beat Memphis? Our best year yet, and Memphis beats us. Tennessee lost as well. We ended up losing in 6 to John Morant, VJ Edgecombe. Like, that's a really good team. I get it. But damn. Oh, man. The Nikola Topic Revenge Series. He has been bouncing around. Wow. Since the Clippers days. Since, I guess, the Warriors days. Oh, wow. He went to Clippers via the trade. Signs with San Antonio. Back to the Clippers. Brooklyn, Philly, Indiana, now Memphis. And, of course, he's about to be in the NBA Finals. If they are to win, and they do in 7. Edgecombe versus Lopez in the NBA Finals. And the Knicks win it all with Jordan Smith Jr. The 17th overall pick in 2027 is your Finals MVP. So, yeah, once we win the Finals, we just have disappointing year 2s. Wow, we went up against a 40-year-old Jokic who was not very good there in round number 1. There goes Jaylen Brown, OG, RJ Barrett, DeJounte Murray, a couple former Knicks retiring. Do we see Steve Kerr? See Quinn Snyder retiring? No Steve Kerr, which is good. Jokic and Jaylen Brown entering the Hall of Fame. I mean, Jaylen Brown does have a Finals MVP award. And we do have Atlanta's pick there at 14. I'm trying to remember where that pick... Oh, that was one where I traded those former, like, Will Bosch and those other first-round picks. That ended up being a lottery pick. I took one of the funniest names here with the number 1 overall pick. Coach of the Year? No, I don't know who Cody Bolden is. Weird way to spell Cody, but maybe that is normal. We took Junior James Jr., Triple J. Junior James Jr., what a name. We got Everett Booker at 33 and then Doncha Jeffries there in the 2nd round. I'm going to bring back Cole McKinney, but that's probably it, as Brandon McCoy is going to be the top free agent here. We don't have any qualifying offers. I don't know if we're going to have any notable free agents. It is Alex Caravan. Okay, he's such a good system fit. I believe I can afford him. Let's bring him back on a 2-year deal. He's been here for so long, since the 2025 draft. AJ Deventa is your MVP this season. Jonathan Johnson, what a name, is your Rookie of the Year. He was drafted in 2035. Was actually traded this season as well, and was horrible. This is what your Rookie of the Year is getting. All right, Cameron Holmes, 6th Man of the Year. Ace Bailey ends up getting deep boy, so no longer Wemby. All right. And Golden State, once again, is the 2 seed. I don't think we've not been the 1 seed yet. OKC, I feel like, has been the 1 seed every single year. I don't think maybe they weren't last year. Yeah, it might have been Memphis last year, but they've been the 1 seed basically every other year. J-Dub, Shea. I can't wait for those guys to retire. Maybe then we could take the 1 seed here in the West. Dana McKinney was actually our leading scorer. I think there's a good chance Edward Sims is traded in the offseason. Round number 1 against the Utah Jazz, led by Brandon McCoy. They signed the biggest free agent, and he's been all right. Maybe not worth that massive deal. Dink Pate is there. Zion Williamson. Adrian Person is now a 98 overall. They have Thomas Nance. I was wondering if they maybe still had Cody Williams or Lowry Markkanen. They do not this year. I mean, Markkanen's probably pretty old at this point. So we do beat them in 5. Led by Dana McKinney and Rashid Richardson. Yeah, I think it's more likely that Edward Sims is going to get traded in the offseason. We beat the Grizzlies in 5. Can we make it back to the NBA Finals? Oh my God! You gotta be kidding me, man. Were we up 3-1 in Minnesota? We won game 1 in overtime. We won game 2 by 20. We lost game 3 by 34. Yeah, we were up 3-1. We just blew a 3-1 lead. Then we lost by 6, by 28, and then by 4. You gotta be kidding me. That is so brutal. Timberwolves win it all. They beat the Knicks and is your Finals MVP. That sucks so much, man. I thought we were going to get another ring this year. I really did. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen. Shout out to the Pelicans getting the 1st pick, the 2nd pick, and the 8th pick in this year's draft. All right, so I'm going to move Edward Sims to Las Vegas. I'm excited to see what he could do next year with this team with Mustafa Diop as their point guard. We're getting the 4th overall pick in this draft and Preston Kane. So the Pelicans take Byron Gravett from Texas A&M, Claudio Sosa from Spain, and Milwaukee takes Dylan Vincent from A&M. No, like, maybe crazy shockers there with the first 3 picks. At number 4, I was looking at Jonathan Moore. We'll see. Quinn Kennedy here, for a wing from Mississippi. I don't hate. Probably going to be more of a project play. Could go Norm Clark. I think I'm going to go Matthew Marin, though. An older player from NC State, a power forward. Yeah, we'll see how he works out over time. I'm not going to read too much into the overall. Obviously, it's not pretty to start things off. So He will be a little bit cheaper, called Oakley, 13th overall pick. He's going to have a much larger role next year as well. So we are here in free agency where I think maybe Trace Jackson Davis is a free agent. Yeah. Shout out to him, man. He has been here all 13 years of his career. I would like to see, we don't really have like a mid-level exception. Caleb Foster, pretty good system fit. But maybe another center. Everybody's so old. Bruce Buchanan, maybe we'll just bring in on a 2-year deal. It's fine with me. And we do have a $17 million trade exception from the Edward Sims contract. So Elijah Arenas leaves Brooklyn after 8 years to go to Boston, a division rival. Brandon Miller stays with Brooklyn after getting traded from Tennessee. Malik Thomas leaves Utah to go to Chicago. JJ Andrews, who was good in Houston and Charlotte, is now a Buck. Alex Costanza leaves Baltimore to go to Sacramento. Scoot stays with the Washington Wizards, signed with them after the Blazers didn't pick him up. Jared Whitehead looks pretty good. And we are seeing some regression. Podziemski starting to regress. Caravan starting to regress. I don't know if I would move Chet Holmgren, but that's something I think we would have to think about at the deadline. So Jaws won an MVP before. VJ Edgecombe just won an MVP in year number 12. Staying with the Memphis Grizzlies, that's cool to see. Taylor Pickett, the rookie of the year. When? Oh my God, the 35th overall pick in 2032. When are the Thunder gonna slow down? They never do. We get Coach of the Year, though, with Steve Kerr. We go 62-20. We do get Rashid Richardson on all NBA third team. He was phenomenal for us this season. As we are the 1 seed for the first time, I think, here. Were we I forget if we were the 1 seed last year. No, I forget. But either way, we're the 1 seed. No, I think we were the 2 seed last year, even though we got Coach of the Year. 12.1 point differential. I don't know. We're so many years into this that I'm just like forgetting about each season. I didn't decide to trade Chet Holmgren, but we're going to have to rely a ton on our starting 5. I did give Chet a 1-year extension and Brandon Podziemski a 2-year extension. Taking on Phoenix in round number 1. This is going to be a wake-up call. Wow, we beat them in 7. That, like I said, was going to be a wake-up call. Richardson did not have a good game 7, but we ended up winning by 9. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Could be a Will Riley trade in the offseason. I don't know. That's been floated around in my mind a little bit. We do beat the Rockets in 6. Here we are taking on the Grizzlies, who kind of own us. We have beaten them 1 year, but they've beaten us mostly. Oh my God, and we win in 7. Rashid Richardson, your Western Conference Finals MVP. Nate Amen, your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Taking on the 7th-seeded Hawks. We have won 2 series in 7 games. We win game 1 of the finals, lose game 2, win game 3, lose game 4, lose game 5, win game 6. Here we go, game 7 of the 2037 NBA Finals. Oh, that second quarter, man. What happened there? Oh, my God. Are we really going to get blown out at home? We come back a little bit. We're down by 7. Can we make a run, please? Nope. We lost game 7 of the NBA Finals. Rashid Richardson put up 37 points, but it did not matter. Will Riley, 3 of 18, and potentially his last game as a Warrior. Nate Ament is your Finals MVP. That is what? Our third Finals loss. We ended up winning in 2028. We won in 2034. But we also lost in 2032, and we lost in 2037. So we've lost 2 NBA Finals right now. That sucks. There goes Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finally retires, Maxey, LaMelo Ball, Denny Avdia, Jalen Suggs, Zion Williamson. This may be a loaded Hall of Fame class. Yeah, Luka, Shai, Tatum, LaMelo, and Donovan Mitchell all heading to the Hall of Fame. Bunch of jersey retirements, obviously. All right, I'm trying to get the number 1 overall pick from the Buffalo Royals. I don't think they have cap space, sadly, which makes this a little bit more challenging. Could we do like Noah Essengate number 1 for Will Riley? Because there's a guy I really want. They would want Bryce Buchanan in my 2039 first. We're doing that. All right, Will Riley is going to be a Buffalo Royal. We're sending him to the Eastern Conference. There's one guy that's 18 years old that has an insane ceiling. Rashid Jones, the center out of Michigan State. Yeah, we're going to bump Chet to the 4 if I don't trade Chet. And Rashid Richardson's going to be the 3. We are getting, I think, a generational center here. And it pains me to move away Will Riley, but I got to figure out sustainable success. We got like 7 more years left of this rebuild. Claude Oakley coming back. He's, I think, developing. I think he's going to be much better this year. Junior James picking up his team option. Same with Juwan Morgan. Preston Kane, yeah, I'm going to pick that up as well because we may be wheeling and dealing this offseason. Jackson Robinson is qualifying offer eligible. He's 34. I'm going to let him walk Cole McKinney. I'll give it to. So yeah, next year, like looking at a rotation, I think I'm going to make Richardson a small forward again. He goes up to a 97. I think I'm going to make Chet a power forward again. He's 35. I mean, now's probably the time to move Chet, but I don't know if I want to. I may move him next offseason. We'll see. So I've made a lot of good trades, I think, in this video. That, Sims 1 for Matthew Marion looks like a total L. So Chet Holmgren regresses down to an 89. Pajemski regresses down to an 82. Also, Alex Caravan retired, so we no longer have him on the team. Let's see how this team works this year. I think Rashid Richardson and Dana McKinney could be a true 1-2 punch. I did not think McKinney was going to be this good, better than Sims. And we get Noah Essengate for a year. I may flip him. Adrian Person ends up winning MVP. He signed with Vegas after leaving Utah for 9 years. He has lived up to the hype of that number 1 pick. Rashid Jones, 6.7 rebounds, 47% from the field. Hopefully, at one point, he's Adrian Person, and that's what I'm getting out of him. We finished the year as the 2 seed. I didn't make any trades because Chet only walked in on like a 3-year extension, and I was not giving him that. I thought Richardson would have played a little bit better. Junior James got a lot of runtime this year. Wasn't great. We're taking on Portland in the playoffs. They have Liam McNeely, who I know everybody else kind of seems auto-generated at this point. Are we able to beat them? The Warriors have owned the Blazers in the 21st century in the playoffs. Hopefully this is like a Rashid Richardson and Dana McKinney show in the playoffs. Yeah, Pods is 35 years old. He is the only OG. Did Trey Jackson-Davis retire or am I tripping? I think he did. Yeah, Trey Jackson-Davis did retire, which is kind of crazy. So the only OG right now is Brandon Pajemski, and he can retire in a year. The Clippers, man, they've been bad in this video so far, but they are now a 1 seed in the Western Conference. Can we beat them, though, to go to the NBA Finals? Yes, we can. We win in 6. Dana McKinney, the 9th overall pick in 2030, Western Conference Finals MVP. We're going up against Ace Bailey and the Cavs. He's on his 5th team now. Cleveland and Golden State, just like the 2010s. Rashid Richardson, that number 1 overall pick from the Clippers. Can we beat them, please? Let's go. We get our first ring in a couple years. Dana McKinney is your Finals MVP. I'm really happy I went with him over Sims for the future, and we get it done. We get our 3rd ring. We win them so far apart. We won in 2028, we won in 2034, and now we win in 2038. There goes Trae Young, Garland, Barnes, Patrick Williams, Jabari Smith, and Amen Thompson. In another year, we go 16-22. We are the 1 seed in the West. We locked up our 2 best players on new 5-year extensions in Rashid Richardson and Dana McKinney. We can call him Double R. I don't know what DM's nickname could have been. Rashid Jones is going to be due for an extension in 2 years, but he is so good. He just turned 20 years old as well. Claude Oakley is basically the starting shooting guard. Also a 90 overall. I'm glad I re-signed him. Junior James was better this year as well. Like, this is the future of this team because Chet, he may retire at the end of this year. And I did re-sign Pods on a 2-year extension, but at this point he's 36. Like, he's getting up there as well. Let's see if we can make it out of the Western Conference here. We do sweep the Phoenix Suns in round number 1. We sweep Memphis in round number 2, and in 7 games we beat Minnesota to advance to the NBA Finals once again. We're taking on the Raptors. They're the 1 seed. They're good. They got Kareem Lopez, who was a baller in New York. They got Igor Demon, who's now 33 years old. He was in the 2025 draft class. They have an elite front court, and Dylan Ware just won Conference Finals MVP. Is apparently coming off the bench. They may beat us, and I'm going to be kind of sick. Damn, they beat us in 6. So a rematch of the 2019 finals. The Raptors beat us. Dylan Ware is your finals MVP. So for the, 2nd straight season? Or no, we did win the finals last year. We've been to 3 straight. Damn, we could have three-peated, but we lost to Toronto. We lost to Atlanta. That is unfortunate. So yeah, we are getting deep here. This is about to be the 2040 season coming up. Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, all those guys are retiring. Chet Holmgren retires as well. He is going into the Hall of Fame. There goes Steph Curry. He was 51 years old. I don't know why that just happened. But yeah, we do retire Chet Holmgren's number. Definitely deserved. So I'm going to be moving Martin Wagner and Noah Essengate for the 7th overall pick in Oscar Russell. Essengate wasn't, like, I guess, slotted to be the power forward now that Chet retired. But we were going to, I think, yeah, look to shed some cap this offseason anyway. Yeah, the Royals, I guess maybe, I wonder how Will Riley did on them. We're going to have to check them out. But with this pick, we could go for somebody a little bit older. Franklin Ross, Alan Forrest, I don't mind. I think I'm going to go him. He's a little bit younger. I don't mind these developmental projects. And he actually looks pretty good. So I think we maybe did well on that pick. We took Wally Bridges there in the 2nd round. We're going to bring back Rashid Jones. Matthew Marion on $21 million. I mean, he may be the starting power forward this year. So this is a big year for him. Former 4th overall pick that we got in that Sims trade a couple years ago. And then I did want to see on the Buffalo Royals. Is he still under contract? No. Is he a free agent, Will Riley? Don't tell me you traded. No, he is a free agent asking for $79 million. I think we sold high at the right time. Yeah, look at some of this expected money out here. Insane. Yeah, we don't have any cap space whatsoever. We don't really even have a mid-level exception, which is fine because I do think we have a deep enough roster to go back to the finals. I just like to actually win the finals, though. And I gave Junior James 5 years, 185. He's probably going to accept it on the last day of free agency, and he does. So that could just become a tradable contract at one point. This is a good team with Richardson, man, in his prime, Dana McKinney in his prime, Rashid Jones at 20 years old, Claude Oakley, that undersized guard at the 2 spot. He's 26. He's an 89 overall. James looks good. Matthew Marion looks good. Pods, the only OG Warrior left. And Nate Ament ends up winning MVP this year in 2040. How old is he at this point? 32 years old. So I believe after this season, there's 4 years left. I would like to win at least 2 more rings, including this one. We were a 1 seed in the Western Conference. We're taking on the Phoenix Suns in round number 1. We got our core. And I don't know how much this core is going to change over the next 4 years as well. Oh my God. We lost in round 1. Oh my God. I'm saying I'm not going to change this core. Damn, Junior James was horrible in that game, but he was good in the series. Oakley could be a little bit better. Rashid Richardson, what happened to you in this series? Why didn't you shoot the ball? How was Rashid Jones? He was fine. All right, well, that might be the most disappointing playoff exit ever. Okay, well, we are going to see the Hawks and the Clippers in the NBA Finals. Does Ament get Finals MVP and MVP? Yes, he does. So he's turning into a very good player. John Morant retires. There goes Alperen Şengün. I mean, he did win Finals MVP with this team, so he went to Baltimore for a couple years. He had a good career. I do wonder if we're going to retire his number. There goes Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr retires, so we're going to get a new head coach. Şengün and Ja head to the Hall of Fame, and we do retire Şengün's number. All right, so we are going to need a new head coach after this draft lottery. Let's see, is there going to be any, like, real coaches that I'm going to know out there? Probably not. Oh, JJ Redick. Perfect. I don't think he ever played for the Warriors, but we're going to sign him as my next head coach. There we go. And I'm going to make a trade that I don't know if Redick coached him in LA, but I'm going to move Cole McKinney and I'm going to move Claude Oakley to LA for Taylor Pickett, who's a good shooting guard from Evansville, and a first-round pick. We drafted Jin Liu. I do not think he is related to Ty Lue. Pick up the team option on Rashid Jones, who's about to get like an $80 million extension next offseason. Matthew Marion is going to be a free agent. Maybe we get him on a better deal, but he's turning into a fine player. 50, what? Yeah, you're getting the qualifying offer and you're going to like it. All right, so a little bit of a down year this year compared to previous years, but I do think we still have a very good team to win an NBA title. But last year was such a disappointing round 1, and I don't think I could play Brandon Podziemski in the playoffs anymore. So round number 1's against the Houston Rockets. They have Nikola Topic at this point, so we never averaged over 10 points since the 2036 season. They have Hugo Gonzalez. They have AJ DeBanza, who has been here every single year, and he's been an absolute stud. Same with Kamal Malioach as well. So let's see how round 1 goes. Another disappointing playoff exit. Okay, round 1, back-to-back years. So for the final 3 years, I got to make some switches. I do think Rashid Jones, Dana McKinney, and Rashid Richardson can be my big 3, but we got to make some moves. Matthew Marion has gone better. Hey, maybe that trade isn't the worst in the world. I think Junior James is probably going to get traded this offseason. Dylan Harper just averaged 38 points for the Spurs in the conference finals. And then the DeJounte Murray Bowl, the Spurs beat the Atlanta Hawks. Wemby gets a finals MVP. I feel like that's his first ring as well. Seeing guys from the 2022 draft class retire, 2023 draft class retire as well. There goes Ty Lue and Jason Kidd. Paolo Banchero heads to the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to trade Junior James and Juwan Morgan for the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. I also wanted to see, because he is a free agent, well, player retirements, this is now glitched out because it's showing me people that already retired. I didn't know if Podziemski retired, but I don't think he did. So with the number 1 pick in the draft, we're going to take, is there a clear 1-1 in this draft? I probably should check that out. Carl Wright, a point guard. Yep, that looks pretty good to me. We're going to take Carl Wright out of Seton Hall with the number 1 overall pick. He could be the point guard for a little bit. We'll see if we eventually make like Dana McKinney a shooting guard, but it doesn't look like he's like the best number 1 pick we've seen. We did have Dean McDaniels and Casey Love drafted in the first round. We had some other first round picks as well. Alan Force is coming back. Tyler Knox is coming back. Qualifying offers, Rashid Jones. Yeah, you're about to get a max contract extension for me. Pickett's a free agent. We do have cap space on him, which is nice, or bird rights, I should say. Front load that. We should be getting him back. Marion, I'd like to bring back as well, but let's wait. Pods, I mean, for the minimum, we got to bring him back. Well, yeah, see what's going on with Matthew Marion. We'll see if that price goes down. And just because we have the cap space, we are going to re-sign him. So that is going to wrap out free agency. This team, I don't know. Back-to-back first-round exits. I do like the idea of moving on from Junior James. Like, Richardson's going up, still McKinney. Rashid Jones is getting better. We brought back Tyler Pickett. Marion and Foster developing. This is a solid, front? We have a really good front 7. Just the last 2 spots I think we got to upgrade on. So the Clippers keep getting like the MVP, but they don't make the playoffs. It's been JJ Andrews, who averages like 33 points a game for the guard, and they are just so bad. Wait, so JJ Andrews, who's now on Baltimore, just won MVP again. He's like the best player in the league. He puts up 38 points a night, which is utterly ridiculous. So we're going to probably have like an 8-man rotation for the playoffs. Hopefully Rashid Jones can break out as like the guy we drafted him to be. We're taking on Vegas in round number 1. They do have Wemby and Adrian Person in the front court. I know Wemby is 38 years old, but that's kind of an insane front court. We, oh my God, go up 2-0 and then we lose 4 in a row. Do I really not have a good team? I really thought Dana McKinney and Rashid Richardson could be the guys for us going forward, but maybe not. This is another disappointing round 1 exit. And the Grizzlies swept the Raptors. VJ Edgecombe adds another finals MVP to his resume. I don't think Podziemski ever wants to call it quits. Oh, wait. He did. Okay. He ends up retiring. We retire his number. He was here for 19 years. That's insane. All right, so I'm going to make this trade with the Heat. I'm sending them Matthew Marion and a future first-round pick for Rob Wright, who is a center, is going to be the backup, and Henry Cobb, who's going to be a backup guard for us. Just getting better depth with this trade. And JJ Redick got Coach of the Year with the Golden State Warriors in the second to last season of the rebuild. Come on, I got to get at least one more ring. We only have 3 in our resume. I do believe we have 3 finals losses. We have a ton. Like, we lost in 2032. We ended up losing in 2037. We lost in 2039. But we haven't been back to the finals since 2039. I re-upped our top guys on extension. So this is pretty much going to be the core for the final few seasons. Please make it out of round 1 at least. We've had, oh my God, we won in 7. Please. Oh no, we lost the conference finals in 7. We've had like 3 straight round 1 exits and we almost won it all. This Dylan Ware guy's been insane. He's owned us in the playoffs before. Damn. We lost game 7 against the Grizzlies. I think they were up 3-0 against us as well. There goes Wemby, Brandon Miller. Yeah, we're getting to the end of this. This was year 19. 19 years in this rebuild is kind of insane. Wemby and Edgecombe head to the Hall of Fame. I just don't know why I can't get one more ring with this team. Like, you're going to see the player progression. I don't know. I guess we lost in the Western Conference Finals by 1 game, so it's not like we didn't go far last year, but I just feel like with this team, we should have maybe added 1 more title to our resume over the last few years. 99 Rashid Richardson, Rashid Jones, didn't even realize that, yeah, same first name, duh. Dana McKinney, Taylor Pickett, Alan Force, Carl Wright is now an 88 overall. It's a really good team. All right, in the final year, we get MVP. Rashid Jones MVP, the #1 overall pick back in 2037, wins the 2044 NBA MVP. We have Bojan Jovanovic getting Rookie of the Year on the Pelicans. He was the 12th overall pick in 2042. Rodney Woodson, 6th Man of the Year. Tyron Stokes, Depoy. RJ Randall, Most Improved. Kelvin Stevenson, Clutch Player of the Year. Wow, that is... Oh, man, who did we... I think he was the guy that went after Rashid Richardson. What a career. Okay, he's been maybe better than Rashid Richardson, which is kind of funny to look back on. Rashid Jones, All-NBA first team. We do get Rashid Richardson on All-NBA third team. I mean, that draft class produced some studs with Stevenson and Richardson. We are the 1 seed in the West. Can we win it all? Take it on the Pelicans in round number 1. Please don't have a round 1 exit, man. I want to go out on top. We sweep the Pelicans. All right, we're off to a great start these playoffs. Just taking a look here at the stats. Rashid Richardson knows this is the final year of the 20-year rebuild, and we sweep the Rockets. Let's go. So the Thunder, they've been our kryptonite before. This isn't as scary as the Thunder from like the 2020s and 2030s, but can we beat them to go to the NBA Finals? My God, man. We only ended up getting 3 rings in this video. Raptors, Thunder, Raptors win in 5. We had to have like 5 Western Conference Finals losses and 3 NBA Finals losses. Damn. So that's unfortunate. Rashid Jones was actually our first MVP. The Mavericks took home a bunch throughout this. Cameron Boozer, JJ Andrews, Nate Ament got it there. Looking at Depoy, yeah, Ace Bailey got a bunch. I mean, Wemby dominated for a while, but didn't get like, I mean, he got an insane amount. I can't lie right there. If we take a look here, past champions, yeah, Dylan Ware has turned into like the best player in the NBA. He has now 3 finals MVPs. VJ Edgecombe had 1. John Morant had 1. For us, Rashid Richardson got 1. Dana McKinney got the other. Alperen Sengun got 1. You can see Shea had 3. Jason Tatum ended up getting 1. Kate Cunningham had multiple. Anthony Edwards got 1 as well. And then all the new Hall of Fame guys, like Wemby obviously made it. Scoot made it. Edgecombe made it. Alperen Sengun ended up making the Hall of Fame. LaMelo Ball, Jason Tatum, Luka, Jokic, Giannis. Yeah, all these guys you probably would expect. I do want to see who also retires this year. So you have Ace Bailey retiring, Rob Dillingham, all those guys. There's Taj Ariza, who was our pick back in 2027. You see Ime Udoka retire. Ace Bailey heads to the Hall of Fame. Any jersey retirements might be watched by the Rockets. Ace Bailey by the Denver Nuggets. Okay, so also if we look at our team history, I guess the Warriors now have 10 NBA championships. I meant to go to the team records. Yeah, I don't think, I mean, yeah, because they have the Will record. We're probably not going to see much throughout this. Going through these, I mean, I doubt we're going to have any season things. I don't know. Maybe not. I thought maybe we would get somebody here, but we do not. Chet Holmgren, 3-pointers made in the playoffs. He has a record for us. So does Steph Curry for what he did in the playoffs in 2025. Dana McKinney, 2041 had 8 turnovers. Şengün had 9 in 2031, which is kind of insane. 2036, Will Riley had 7 steals. That was not Will Riley, I'll tell you right there. I looked at his face a lot throughout this rebuild. Chet has some records for blocks. You could look at total season here. Did we have like an historic season throughout this? Junior James made 303 threes in 2041. That is crazy. Wow, Chet blocks, a lot of those, a lot of Chet Holmgren blocks throughout this, but maybe not as many as you would think. Field goal percentage, shout out to Trey Jackson Davis, Oscar Russell for a year. Obviously the big man, 3-point percentage, Gary Payton in the limited ones he took, Buddy Hield, Rasheed Richardson, and Will Riley. Free throw percentage, a lot of it goes to the core we had throughout this, which is kind of funny. And yeah, points per game we were never going to get because Will obviously had a ton there. And then career, I don't know if we'll see anybody that we have right now. I mean, we'd have to look at games played. I don't even think anybody would crack that. Yeah, which I'm kind of surprised. Maybe Chet didn't crack anything here. What about like total blocks in a career? Did Chet crack this, or is that tough to see? I feel like Chet would have cracked this. So I hope you guys did enjoy that 20-year Warriors rebuild. Let me know if you did by dropping a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments which team you'd like to see me rebuild next for 20 years. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.